And sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The WAVE technology at Coastside Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Coastside Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
New message.
What up, what up? It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them, and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
At Folsom Lake Honda, in addition to great prices on new Hondas, we stock the best selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, and each one of those vehicles is priced to sell now.
With new cars in high demand, Folsom Lake Honda has a great selection of quality one-owner trades with low miles, and each is priced to sell now. Every used vehicle on the lot comes with a Carfax vehicle history report and has passed a safety inspection. Shop our entire selection at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. One-stop Honda shop.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
Do you ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140. KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
It's Sactown Sports 1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, somebody got a little sneaky surprise for me today. And I noticed these things, and I want you to know that I noticed these things, Jay Mars, is we have our new intro. Because the old intro music
selected by you.
That was the yes, I did not know that the was the Laker intro music. Yeah, that's not going to work. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Carmichael Dave, J Mars.
And honestly, this is just a better song.
It is a better song.
For 6 a.m., it's a little more like wake you up.
It is a wonderful intro song. For a wonderful group of folks. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Go to the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube page. Hello, Earl. Hello, Mike, as usual. The first ones in. Let me get in there because I know they don't care. But, hey, I am in, and I welcome you guys to come in as it is a Friday. And, of course, I guess I can't, not that, as he always said, if you steal from me, you're stealing twice. But I got to credit old partner Don Geronimo, who introduced, he was the first I heard that use this as a show open, and he rotated many a time. So there you go. Shout out Don.
Don seemed like a guy who changed intros probably once a month. Like, would probably get really tired of the one he picked that he was super excited for 4 weeks prior. Am I accurate there?
On the inter show music, that was changed up quite a bit. It was the old Don and Mike production, which I stole on my night show before I ever met Don. And the Don and Mike production would be generally you'd come back from break, you'd hit a clip, usually a comedy clip, 30 seconds, maybe a minute tops. And then the bed music would start, and whatever that bed music was, let's say it was that, and then you'd have the voice guy come in and say something like, he's dumb and stupid and fat and whatever, the Carmichael Dave Show. Or
so you completely stole his stuff.
I always thought that and longtime KHTK listeners will know exactly what I'm talking about here. The Don and Mike production system, to me, was always that was the gold standard. That was always when I grew up listening. It was Rise Guys, Jim Rome, still there, Don and Mike, noon to 4, Grant 4 to 7, Coes 7 to 9, and then eventually I fit in there 9 to midnight after those guys. And I always felt like when I was doing the night show, our old program director Mike Ramey, his instructions to me were, we want you to do a sports umbrella show. And what he meant by that was
you literally broadcasted with an umbrella with sports teams on.
Yeah, it would rain. Exactly. You nailed it. It would be he wanted me to use sports as an umbrella, but be able to get into other things. And in between working that as my intro to radio, and then working with Coes in the evenings, which was also kind of a loose show, the old CB 1140. And then the influence of Don and Mike, which was massive for me. Honestly, probably Don and Mike, a little bit of Howard Stern. And by the way, please understand, I'm not in any way.
By the way, this is a cocktail. He has it written out as a specific recipe of how much percentage of what show he used.
And in no way am comparing myself to those legends, just saying of influences like a band. It would be Don and Mike number one, as far as national goes, Howard Stern, and then believe it or not, the old Rush Limbaugh. And before people cringe and unbuckle their seatbelts, just please understand the I'm talking about formatics. I'm talking about the way the shows were run, the way they sounded, and the way they were communicated, not the content itself. And to me, Don and Mike was again, that was the gold standard. Now you could not do probably 85% of their show today.
95.
You might be right, but it was what they would call theater of the mind, which is something that I think is lost in radio today. Everything is so corporate. Everything is so very cookie cutter. You got to get in, you got to get out. You got to remember though, and Jay, watch me here, your management, but I think I'm okay to talk about this. It's just we have to always be extremely careful due to federal laws when we talk about how ratings are gathered. But I think it's no secret that once upon a time, ratings used to be gathered via a diary, and what that meant was you would, if you were a ratings family for radio, you would get a diary basically, and you would write down. They'd say, "What do you listen to from this time to this time?" And you'd write it down. And by the way, forgive my voice. You're probably hearing more whatever than usual. That's been the latest kick on this recovery from COVID. My voice is kind of coming in and out, so forgive me today. You would just write it down, which was not fair in the sense that just because you wrote it down, a lot of people didn't want to write down that they listened to Disney or PBS or something for certain parts of the day. It was not accurate at all. But back in diary, the formatics of a show were quite different because you could have 25-minute segments. You could skip through commercial breaks and then have a 9-minute break at the end of the hour. Now we're in a different form, and I'm going to stay away from the specifics there again because I'm never sure what my rules are here. But let's just say it's a better way. It's a more accurate way. I'm sure it's not perfect, but where there's actual devices that will measure if you're picked, what you listen to, when you listen to it. You can't fib, you can't assume. It tells you what's what. And so what that's done is that's created kind of, if you listen to shows now, generally when you flip the dial, and maybe you've all gone through this before as we do another one of our fun peel back the curtains, you'll notice that a lot of shows, when we would go to break, if you flip around, which you should not do, but if you do, you'll notice a lot of other shows are also on break. What we call the clock is very similar on many shows, because there are actual studies done. There's all kinds of money and research poured into when is the best time to take a break. How are you going to capture that quarter hour of ratings, this, that, whatever. It's very, very, and it's something and Jay will absolutely back me up on this. It's probably my biggest historical weakness, other than talent, in running a radio show, is conforming after so many years of being able to do
I'm
what
a nonconformist.
and not nonconformist in the way that I'm a rebel.
I think of the South Park characters. Go on.
not where I've got the long black hair, the goth kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Conformist.
it's habitual. Back in the day on the nights, and oftentimes you'll hear me wax poetically. And let's be honest, I like mornings are better, and it's more money, and it's more listeners, and it's where I want to be. But
it's a job that still exists.
It's a job that still exists. Nights, though, were so loose. They were so those were the days where Ron Artest could come in and we do an hour almost without a commercial, and then take a 10-minute break. Dana White would call in back when Dana, cared about the media more, and he would, just call in randomly from his patio and sit there and shoot the what for 45 minutes. And the idea was, and still is, that content is king. It always will be. It doesn't matter what format you use. If your content is wanted and is enthralling, you're going to have a successful show. It doesn't matter. But there are places within the margins that help you, for lack of a better term, I wouldn't say cheat, but conform again to the system and have better numbers. And that's your radio talk for the day, Jay. Good morning.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, something you've been doing all week is bothering the ever-living crap out of me.
Uh-huh.
Can you either change the green screen or whatever, or lean forward? Because when you lean back, you only get half of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Let me get in here. Sorry, my back is.
There he is.
My back is kicking me again, so I'm trying not to do the habit of my.
Where are you? I don't even know where you're broadcasting from. Funny enough.
I believe you put it correctly. I'm in an undisclosed location bunker, right? Isn't that what we said?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I was switching through green screens, but it's been enjoyable listening and watching a lot of people that are absolutely convinced this is my living room. This is a green screen. I do have a piano, but it's not a piano like that. I have a piano.
It's a Casio.
Yeah, about 20 feet behind me that my daughter thumps on all the time.
Hello.
But easy on the hellos there. Jason Ross will join us, I believe, we hope Monday, as he is recovering from Vegas last 2 days of the week off.
Boy, is he.
Oh, boy. So it's Jay and I all week. Jay, I will just tell you, because I don't want to be one of those guys that is consistently up your you-know-what about it, but I will tell you, I am 2 episodes away from the season finale of season 3 of The Boys. I have flown through almost 3 complete seasons, and last night's is episode 6, season 3, is probably the most insane television I've ever seen in my life.
This is on Amazon, right?
This is on Amazon Prime, and it is, let me just put it this way. I have a feeling if yesterday's episode was a movie, I think there would have been a lot of meetings between the production staff and the ratings board, speaking of, as to whether or not to make it an NC-17 show.
Really?
I've never seen anything like it. It is.
I'm intrigued.
I really hope you are. I cannot express enough how much I absolutely recommend this sick, twisted show. That is an absolute blast.
I'm without child this weekend, so maybe I'll start anew.
I would never steer you wrong when it comes to programming, especially today, for example, as we are on a Friday. It is a getaway day for me, shockingly, as Jay is back for his first week from his week of vacation, completing this week in what has been a crazy, weird week with COVID and all those fun things. I will be gone next week, but I'm here today. Jason Ross returns next week, and then we will be full strength 2 weeks from Monday. And today we're going to recap a lot of the work. I know, that's right, 2 weeks. We're going to recap a lot of the work done by Jason, by Frankie, by Chris down in Vegas. Summer League is still going. We have a Kings game today against the Suns. We'll get to that and so much more. Sit back, relax. We got you covered till 9. Leading off is next.
You wanted more Kings coverage? You've got it. More Niners, more Raiders, more NFL coverage than anywhere else in Sacramento. The best and most expansive coverage of your local sports.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave talking about my friends at American Energy. $49 tune-up offer. I did it 2 weeks ago. You should do it too. It's only $49 for an air conditioning tune-up, and you get a free indoor air quality test. Oh, it's so simple. Call today to schedule your appointment with my local friends at American Energy at 916-520-9990. Catch the 916 there, 520-9990. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Been around since 81. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. You and your friend both look over at each other, and then he puts his head back out the window. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Let's do it.
It's time for Leading Off.
Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
Booker driving right side. Here's the lob. Here's the catch. Here's the bucket. Deandre Ayton over the rim and in.
Deandre Ayton and his crew played the chess match about as perfectly as you can. Ayton wanted an extension last year. The Suns declined to give him that extension. And so what happened? He got into restricted free agency. And what that means is that another team could conceivably make Ayton an offer, and then the Suns would have, I think it's 48 hours to match that offer sheet. Kings fans will remember this with a guy like Bogdanovich. This is obviously a much bigger deal for much bigger players. Zach LaVine with the Bulls, you're absolutely correct. When Vlade made that 4-year, $80 million offer, the Pacers come through, and they make a 4-year, $133 million offer for Deandre Ayton. And it took all of about 5 minutes because the Suns had until 9 p.m. or should I say 8:59 Pacific tomorrow to match the offer. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. They weren't going to wait that long. There was no need for them to tie up Indiana and their money. They matched it 4 years, $133 million, which not only keeps him with the Suns, and we'll talk about this later. It's interesting. Why did the Suns do all of this just to end up paying the same amount of money anyways? And now they've and money heals all wounds, but they could have just avoided all this and signed the guy in the beginning.
Yeah, but they, credit to Ayton's camp, because Phoenix said, we don't think there's a max offer out there for Deandre Ayton. I think they wanted to, as they, have said, they wanted to keep Deandre Ayton, but they didn't want to give him max money. Pacers said, no, you read the Woj reports, he was excited to actually go to Indiana. However, I think this is more of the Pacers doing Ayton's agents a favor, so to speak, to get him that max deal, and I'm sure that'll be paid back down the line somewhere.
Fun trivia question, and if you read about this, you got it. If not, it'd be almost impossible to remember. Do you know the biggest offer sheet signed by a team that wasn't matched?
Yes, it was Harrison Barnes with Dallas.
Harrison Barnes was signed by the Mavericks for 4 years and $94.4 million. That was back about 6 years ago, the same summer when the Golden State Warriors signed Kevin Durant as a free agent. Obviously, that's why they didn't sign Harrison Barnes. What's interesting in connecting this to the Ayton deal is that takes Deandre Ayton and very likely the Phoenix Suns out of the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Ayton you would think would have been the centerpiece of that deal, but he now cannot be traded until at least January 15th of this year. They can't trade him for a full year without his consent. So he, in effect, has a no trade clause for the next 12 months. Could the Suns build a deal around Mikal Bridges and a couple others? A lot of picks, obviously, yeah, but you would think this takes them out of the Durant sweepstakes. So we'll have more on that a little bit later. In the meantime, number 2.
Cut number 2.
It looks really good. Very good. How about that start? What a start from McElroy.
Well, it's a great start for McElroy. We got a lot of starts happening right now. For example, our leader, Cam Smith, 8 under through 4 right now. That's 3 under, excuse me. 4. Cameron Smith was there. I'm looking at Cameron Young, excuse me, who was the leader yesterday. He is at +1 so far through just 3 holes. The leaderboard is getting incredibly interesting. Tyrell Hatton and Scotty Scheffler, along with Cameron Smith of Australia, are all in the clubhouse at 8 under. Adam Scott, 7 under on the day. That's a 65. That is the best round so far. He is just 1 back, along with Patrick Cantlay, former FedEx Cup winner, and Cam Young 1 over through 3. Plenty of time to turn that around. Rory McIlroy will tee off in about 45 minutes. But there are 2 huge stories to follow today. Number 1, if you have your TV on us, great, keep it there. If you have a secondary screen, you're going to want to probably turn on the coverage so you can watch Tiger Woods play 4 more holes of British Open golf. He will not make the cut. He is 7 over. The projected cut is even. He is +1 for the day. So Tiger Woods, and not only will he not make the cut, Jay, but as of right now, and we don't know where this is going to end, there's 9, maybe 10 folks that are behind him.
Did you see who one of them was by chance? It was a name that stuck out to me when I was looking at the leaderboard this morning.
David Duvall?
David Duvall. I was like, wait, David Duvall's playing in the Open?
Well, that's the thing, is that you get these lifetime exemptions for former champions. Mark Calcavecchia.
That doesn't mean you should play.
Well, again, David Duvall is at 12 over. Calcavecchia, who's, again, just playing on an exemption, fires an 83-82 for a +21. He is in dead last by 9 full strokes. Darren Clark, another older gentleman, but also a fan favorite, 10 over. He will not make the cut. Other names that will not make the cut of note: Stuart Sink, Keegan Bradley, Kevin Na, and a few others, Patty Harrington, etc.
Just for funsies, where's John Daly out on the leaderboard?
John Daly, I thought I passed him. Maybe I did. John Daly, this is interesting. John Daly, through 4 holes, is 1 over for the tournament. He is even on the day. John Daly needs to play about 1 under, 2 under to be safe the rest of the way. That projected cut is even. I'm going to say I think the projected cut, it's going to get a little windier, they think, but it's either going to be even or -1. There are some big scores popping up today. There is Sergio Garcia, 6 under. Thomas Peters, 6 under as well. Got a couple 5 unders in there. We talked about Adam Scott being 7 under for the day. Tyrell Hatton, 6 under. So there are a lot of big scores. However, the story of the tournament, as we talked about before, now that Tiger Woods is out of the way, solo leader at 9 under, Dustin Johnson fires a 68. 67. He's in the clubhouse with that 67. He is 1 shot clear of Hatton, Scheffler, and Smith. This is a massive developing story, as we talked about, because Dustin Johnson is an LIV golfer. And we are 48 hours away should Dustin Johnson continue to fire well tomorrow You're looking at a guy that's going to be not only in the final group, but somebody who has every bit of ability to win this thing. And oh my goodness, would that become a massive, massive story.
I'm sure the entire story will just be Dustin Johnson won the Open, nothing else. Nothing else attached to that story.
Nothing else at all. And my goodness, if you're able to have the world number one Scotty Scheffler is just a shot back. Adam Scott is going to be a huge fan favorite there. There's so many stories brewing for this Open, so I am here for it. We're running late, so our third topic, very simple. We'll get to it later. King,
we can hit the highlight.
We do have time.
Yeah,
okay, number 3.
Cut number 3.
Point game, Doors.
Great execution.
And the steal. They can tie it with a 3. Murray, yes! A Murray miracle in the desert.
Sorry, I just really wanted to play the highlight.
Big Red Reno says, I think David Duvall was a college teammate of Tiger's at Stanford. I don't think that's the case. I think Duvall was before Tiger. I know that Nota Begay, golf reporter, usually on the course, was a college teammate of Tiger's. I'm not sure about Duvall. I'll have to check that out, but I don't think so. You are right, though. He did have bad back problems. When I think of Duvall, I think of those Oakleys he always wears. 5 o'clock today, and according to the Bees, Jason Anderson, Keegan Murray will, in fact, a little bit of a surprise to us. Keegan Murray will play in today's game against the Summer League version of the Phoenix Suns. We will take a break. When we come back, radio hosts beware. You might get sued if you say something wrong. We're going to talk about who that is, why they're being sued, why this could be a big deal, and why I absolutely love it. We'll do that in just a couple minutes.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must-watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show.
Plus, get exclusive content.
Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going to make this, the summer event, the best yet?
Savings. Right now, save up to $10,250 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs, or $6,250 off MSRP on 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cabs. Couple that with up to 32 miles per gallon highway with the Ram EcoDiesel, and you'll have even more savings over trucks that are only a few years old.
32 miles per gallon highway for a truck? Are you sure?
Yep. 32 miles per gallon with the Ram EcoDiesel. Plus, we have over 600 available, including the hard-to-find Ram heavy-duty models.
Well, better hurry, because this kind of savings with those MPGs won't last long. Take a test drive today or see their full selection when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$10,250 total net savings after $6,000 factory rebates and $4,250 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,500 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Capital qualified. And $1,250 Conquest bonus cash. Must own or lease non-FCA group vehicle. $6,250 total net savings after $1,750 factory rebates and $4,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,250 Conquest bonus cash. Must lease or own non-FCA group vehicle. 5 net savings. Highway MPG stated according to US EPA estimates. See dealer for details.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed small business. Local ownership cuts out the red tape while ensuring our staff has the autonomy to make the quick, respectable business decisions necessary to deliver on our promise to always exceed the expectations of our customers. The power of our local family team will help you with your business printing needs. Contact us today at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
New message. What up? It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Rate and the purchase markets are doing this thing and that thing. Shelby, as I always say, you're the captain of the ship that gets everybody through those waters. What's going on over at United Wholesale Lending?
We are heavily focused on purchase business right now.
This is the time of year, I know. You would think more people go and see houses, but how is that working as opposed to rates scaring people? Are we still seeing that huge influx of people going out there?
Well, there's some more inventory that's coming onto the market, and the market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Even with the interest rates going up, now the market is kind of softening up and making it easier for home buyers to get their offer accepted and also to get a better deal.
You can pre-approve them on the phone in under 15 minutes without even running their credit. But what you also do is you give them the exact things they need to knock out personally so that they can get into homes.
That's exactly right. We create a roadmap to get them in the position to buy a house.
RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279-051. BRA number 01864354.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see Thor: Love and Thunder and IMAX 3D experience at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. A lot of Summer League sound, much of which you've heard this week. Some you haven't, as we recap what has been a busy week here on Sactown Sports 1140. My ADD is getting me. Let me center myself. There we go. Hello to everybody.
Well, can I bring it back real quick?
Yes.
I forgot to tell you, I am here by myself today. And
really?
What I mean by that is I am literally the only one in the building.
We're Pat, Tom, and Cody.
Staycation.
Wow.
They have country star Russell Dickerson filling in for them this morning.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Got a big email yesterday. We were talking about ratings earlier today. Congratulations.
To all the other stations.
To all the other stations. Yes. It's always good. It's always good when you get
Why don't we ever get that email
you
sent
get a
out?
company-wide email. They're like, hey, congratulations. You guys are amazing. You're the best. All that. Yeah, you guys tried too. KHDK. We get a little pat on the head.
Sometimes.
Hey. We get a we get a ratings book, and they put it up on the station fridge with like a little magnet, like when the kid draws the picture at kindergarten.
Problem is ours has all those like red like check marks and stuff. Like, whoops.
Nothing from you. I'm surprised. A couple of segments in, we're 30 minutes into the show exactly. Nothing from you on today's jersey choice.
You kind of got on a roll very early on with the radio educational rating system talk, and I had meant to bring it up, and we got a little lost.
Old school Sacramento Mountain Lions Dante Culpepper jersey today. As I am right next to my closet O jersey, so it's nice to just throw something on. Plus, it lets me wear the same clothes all week long. I haven't changed clothes since Monday.
Have you changed underwear?
Nope, nothing. No, yes, I have. Just kidding. Or am I? Agent Casey Close,
agent, by the way,
has sued Fox Sports radio host Doug Gottlieb for libel, alleging that Gottlieb, quote, falsely and recklessly defamed Close and Excel Sports Management in a tweet that claimed they had not presented a contract offer to Freddie Freeman during free agency. The lawsuit details the negotiations quote, the Gottlieb quotes tweet said, Casey Close never told Freddie Freeman about the Braves' final offer, which is why Freeman fired him. An allegation the complaint says is false and has prompted death threats towards Close and tens of millions of dollars in damages to Close and XL. Now, not to get too legalese on you, but libel is the formal term for written defamation. And the standard in the United States depends on whether the person who has been allegedly defamed is a public or private figure. The standard for public figures, which is a broad term for somebody in the public domain. Jay, you're a public figure. I'm a public figure, just like the guy who plays Thor is a public figure. There's a wide.
He has a name, bro. Jeez.
Gap. The one guy from
Hemsworth.
Australia. Noel,
Chris.
Yeah, yes.
Brian.
The complaint says that
Todd Hemsworth, that's his name.
Close is a former New York Yankees minor leaguer. He's negotiated billions of dollars of contracts, but they say he is a private figure. If that private figure status is upheld by the court in New York, then Close would need to prove Gottlieb's statement was false and made with negligence. For public figures, the threshold is that Gottlieb would have to publish the statement with actual malice, or as the Supreme Court has defined, knowledge that it was false or with reckless disregard of whether it was false or not. So there's a big difference in public or private figure. Now, you'd think, as somebody who not only is the same age as Doug, but works in the same business, that a guy like me would hear this, and you're probably going to hear this on radio today from others. They're going to freak out at the agent. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I hate the fact that the standard is so high when it comes to proving libel. I'm here to tell you, and I think that this is something we could probably all get behind, that in today's day and age of media, not just in sports, but especially on other topics, if sports hosts, political hosts, reporters, if they actually had to worry about consequences from putting out false information. Now, there's a difference. Now, I could say yesterday, for example, we don't think Keegan Murray is going to play in the rest of Summer League. That would be our guess. And we were wrong. But we're also very careful to say, in fact, I think we went out of our way to say, quote, we're not breaking any news. We don't have any inside sources. We just, if we had to guess, would say he's going to get shut down. We were wrong. No problem. There's nothing wrong with that. That happens. And even if I were to say sources tell me that Murray's not going to play, and then he ends up playing, well, that just makes me look stupid. But it's not libelous. If I were to say, and I always pick on De'Aaron Fox because he's the team's best player, let's pick on Chimezie Metu, random king. I was to say Chimezie Metu didn't play in the regular season game because he had too much to drink, according to sources. And it turns out that Mezzi had a stomach bug and was at home drinking ginger ale. There should be repercussions for that. Now, should I go to jail? Should I have a $100,000 fine? Obviously, these are things that would have to be mitigated. But should my company be liable? Should my company be responsible and down the chain snowball me for things I'm saying that I'm not sure are correct? There is a line there, and there is something to discuss. But I love the idea of people in media before they go out with harebrained reports. And obviously in sports, it's who cares for the most part. But I'm talking more news and politics. Mm-hmm. Regardless, this is not a political statement I'm making. You pick the network you love. You pick the network you hate. It applies to that network. It applies to that host. If they had to worry about going out and making false statements for ratings, because that's what we do now, Jay. You go out and you make some sort of crazy statement
and you form it as an opinion, which is very important.
Then it turns out that you're wrong, and you either don't acknowledge it or you just roll right over it and move on. And the sad thing is that much of the audience, they don't care that it was wrong. They don't care. They'll move on. They don't want to be confronted with that. But if you started to see hosts fined, suspended, and in the absolute worst case scenarios, spending a little time in the pokey. And when I say that, please understand, I'm talking about the craziest, most heinous examples that do real life damage to individuals. I don't care if you're a public figure. I don't care if you're a private figure. There shouldn't be a difference there. Just because you're a public figure doesn't make it right. Let me give you an example. What would be something that was absolutely horrible if I were to say, well, I heard from a friend that John Jonathan is a child molester.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, wait a minute. And now all of a sudden it just turns out that I had nothing to go on, but now I smeared this person's reputation. There's memes all over the place. There's opinion pieces being written on blogs. Who cares? Well, that person should care, and you should care. Nothing's going to happen here. Gottlieb's nothing's going to happen to him. And by the way, I have no problems with Doug at all. Doug just happens to be in the crosshairs here. But the idea of there being more media accountability all the way around, the idea of not having the rights and a passport to go out and just fire whatever information you want off and then just hoping people forget about it is part of what's wrong in our media culture today. And most of us, I'd like to think, Jay, try to play by the rules. We try to play an even playing field. And because of it, in many cases, the sad truth is your ratings suffer. Your numbers suffer because people want to hear the crazy. Well, the crazy should have consequences. So we'll stay tuned to this, but this is a story I think that's very, very much worth following. We'll take a break. When we come back, somebody on the text line says the YouTube comments popping up on your screen are annoying. I disagree. I like them. I like seeing those. We'll get to Jason Ross. You might have heard this earlier. Keon Ellis is not Keegan Murray, of course. He hasn't gotten the run or the attention Keegan has, but he's done some very good things, some very impressive things for the Sacramento Kings in Summer League, a guy hoping to make the team, currently on a two-way deal. Jason had a chance to sit down with him out there in Summer League, and we'll replay that next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is giving you more NBA Summer League access than anyone else in Sacramento.
Impressions, let's start with the Kings' top pick, Keegan Murray. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I called efficient and versatile. But what I really liked, and I know the Kings, he's going to make shots. He's an elite jump shooter.
Get all the latest on our social media channels
and online at SactownSports.com.
Coverage of the 2022 NBA Summer League is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Visit them at PowerCopiers.com.
Hey kids, it's Carmichael Dave talking to you about Capital Casino. Summertime heat is here, and Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite all of you to soak up some air conditioning, hang out, have some food, have a beverage. Always the most variety of table games in the region. Always the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Safe is such a great word. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Safe Credit Union. Safe just makes me feel secure with a sense of comfort. And in these turbulent times, finding anything that makes you feel protected is good for the soul. Being a member of Safe keeps your money local, gives you access to lower rates and higher dividends, while also giving you a sense of comfort that comes from knowing that your money is, well, safe. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
Greetings, Sacramento. It's Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store asking, when was the last time you did something nice for your feet? If you're like most people, your feet get attention only when there's a problem. That can mean something painful, maybe real painful, like plantar fasciitis. That was me. I counted on my feet to make a living, but ignored them until almost too late. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store, got my free personalized fitting and test walk, and in 20 minutes, I left with my expertly fit Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The pain was no more, and my feet have never felt so comfortable. I'm a Good Feet believer, and you can be too. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online at goodfeet.com.
Hello, I'm Frank Aqua with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. The broad stock market as measured by the S&P 500 had an historically poor start to the year. Bonds, usually a safe haven when stocks perform poorly, also saw tremendous downside volatility as rates rose dramatically. This has led to investors looking for guidance on the Federal Reserve's battle against inflation. While jobs reports show that there is some cooling, unemployment remains low. There are starting to be some cracks in manufacturing as shown by an ISM survey which showed contraction in new orders for the first time in 2 years. The current ISM reading was 53, but would need to possibly drop further to 43.1 to signal a recession. With a reduction in gross domestic product expected to materialize for the second consecutive quarter, signaling a technical recession, until jobs soften further, a more robust economic slowdown may not materialize. U.S. manufacturing is currently on much better footing than in the Eurozone or Asia. Later this month, GDP reporting may help clarify a path forward. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Coastside Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The WAVE technology at Coastside Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Coastside Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140 on Sactown Sports 1140.
So here we are with one of the newest Kings, Keon Ellis. Keon, how does that even just sound to you? A two-way contract, member of the Sacramento Kings.
Honestly, I don't know how to explain it. Just glad to be here. It still hasn't hit me yet, that I'm in the NBA, but just trying to feel things out. Like I said, excited to be here. Excited for the new opportunities, but just happy to be here and playing with new guys.
Yeah. So your journey, obviously a really good college player. You're hopeful that draft night goes your way. Mm-hmm. When it didn't, what was that next phase like? Just trying to, work out for teams and land on a team, ultimately the Kings.
Well, I mean, at that point, like the workouts and everything was already done. So I think teams were calling my agent. He was asking me or at least telling me the scenarios that teams were offering. And I think Sacramento called, and I mean, we liked what we were hearing from them before the draft and everything. So we thought it was a good opportunity.
What was the feedback your agent was getting or from other teams about you and your style, and what kind of things were you hearing?
I mean, pretty much all of the same things, kind of a 3-and-D guy. That was more so my role. But I think just from other teams, they just had to see who was on the board when it was their time to pick. We had a good amount of teams that had interest, but it just seemed like every time it was that team's turn to pick, the pick got traded or something. So it just didn't happen.
Reading stuff about, 3-and-D is a great label to get into the league, but you can score too. So when it sounded like at Alabama, you got your minutes established first because of the defense. Is that kind of how it happened for you?
That is most definitely how it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And was part of that, I guess, also a numbers game? Who was at Primo, Herb Jones? Did they also help you just seeing what they did, how they became pros, and that, look, I was behind some great people, and now last year was your time to shine?
Yeah, I think playing behind Herb, learning a lot from him and seeing how he evolved from his junior year to his senior year and all the things he accomplished really kind of just opened up my mind to the thought, that it's not impossible to make it happen. So definitely learned a lot from him.
What are you trying to establish now that you're actually with the team playing here? A lot of eyes are on you, or on Nimi and Keegan. So, what are you, besides winning, what are you personally trying to get out of your summer league experience?
Honestly, other than winning, probably just, having a good time with the team. We all, we get along off the court, when we're on the bus, watching film. We're all, bonding, talking to each other, feeling each other out, seeing what other guys like. But it's definitely a good experience off the court, a good group of guys to be around, but definitely just want to win for sure. Yeah.
You want one of those rings, don't you?
Oh, my goodness, man, I do.
They should have one retroactive. The guys won last years ago, too, as well. You were talking about team bonding. Saw Top Golf. How's your golf game?
My golf game is terrible. I thought I could do just about any sport, but at least when it comes to golf, I could definitely use some work. But I didn't get to go to the Top Golf. I had to do like the whole rookie transition thing.
Gotcha.
So,
did you hear like who was bragging? Who represented themselves well out there?
I heard Bobby is good.
Yes.
He's good. Yeah. I heard he's good. Him and Keegan and a couple other guys went golfing one morning, and I think it was Bobby versus Frankie. I guess they were the two top guys. I think Frankie came out with the win. Yeah. So at least that's what I overheard.
How about your background growing up in Florida, JUCO first, then to Alabama? What was like growing up in Florida with your family and your brother played, like pretty competitive family? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, all of my immediate family, me, my older brother, younger brother, older sister, all played sports growing up. So we were all athletic in our own ways. My older brother and younger brother, they played football. My other older brother played football and basketball. They all played a little bit of everything. I personally just told myself if I'm going to do anything serious, it's going to be in basketball. So I stopped playing all other sports and focused on basketball and just tried to I realized I was kind of good at it and, just trying to keep going forward with it. And I mean, I had a couple of offers out of high school, and then a grade situation had happened, and I still could have went Division I, but just decided that it would have been better if I went JUCO, and went JUCO 2 years, had a good 2 years there, had a lot of team success, and it landed some eyes on me after my sophomore year, and Alabama was my favorite school growing up. So when they offered, it was kind of it wasn't like I was like definitely going there, but they were high on my list. So ended up at Alabama after that, and I mean, that's where just the whole defensive mindset thing came in, and it's landed me here.
How did Alabama become your school, being from Florida? That's some pretty heated rivalries back there.
It really was just I think the first time I watched a college football game, like I don't know where, I might have been just somewhere in a store or at a restaurant or something, and they were on the TV. And like they were really good, and they were blowing the team out that they were playing. So I was like, I like them. So they were just winning. I started liking them, and I think after that, a lot of people would always ask if you had a choice to go with any school you want. I would tell them Alabama, and they would be like, "Well, that's a football school." And my first year there, we won SEC championship. Yeah. So it's not really just a football school anymore. So. Definitely kind of turned it around, and it was fun being there.
So it's been Roll Tide ever since.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing else.
Yeah, talking with Keon Ellis here, new member of the Kings. So what are you trying to work on for your own game? I mean, I know everybody's always trying to improve. What do you think you need to still work on here as you develop?
I think just my size. I think I could get bigger, faster. Guys are definitely better at this level, so. Definitely could do that. I mean, as far as like the skill aspect, still want to get better. Playing on the ball, whether it's making decisions, initiating an offense, stuff like that. I think those are the things that I need to get better on, at least right now.
You obviously know the Kings in the past have really struggled defensively as a team. Is that something you think when you get an opportunity you can help provide, whether it's in practice and games, just your intensity on that perimeter?
I'm gonna do that regardless. Even if they were a good team, that's just how I kind of play. So, just always go out there and with a play hard mindset, make the right plays, and just kind of let everything fall where it may. So, just go out there and try to play hard on the defensive end, get stops, deflections, disrupt the offense, and try to get us easy baskets on the other end.
So as a guy that clearly has this defensive mentality, have you had that dream of that NBA moment that, okay, I'm ISO at the top? Who do you see on the other side of you that you'd like to have a crack at? Like, all right, let's see what I'm made of. Let's see what they're made of.
I mean, honestly, I haven't thought of anything like that. But I'd be down for whoever. I mean, I'm just confident in my defensive ability. So whoever wants to, try to ISO me out, I don't get scared when I'm ISO'd out. I'm, okay, well, this is what we're doing. So now let's do it. So
I know you have to have the confidence. If someone's bigger, is that a problem? Quicker, or do you just take on any challenge?
I mean, I take on any challenge. Not really too worried about what anybody else brings to the table. Like if someone's bigger, faster, whatever. Just I know what I am trying to accomplish is just force them into what we can live with. So whether it be if it's a smaller, faster guy, and I'm just gonna use my length and force him to finish over length. If he's gonna beat us by going to the rim and finishing over me a numerous amount of times, and that's what the game plan is, then I can live with that. If it's a stronger guy, and we're living with him, shooting contested jumpers, we're living with that as well. But I don't think, guys being bigger or faster is a problem I haven't ran into.
I don't know how much you know about Sacramento or at this point even Stockton, but we have some pretty crazy fans. And if they see you with that effort, you're going to be a fan favorite pretty quickly. What do you know about the city that you're going to call home here soon?
I honestly don't know too much. I haven't been to Sacramento, but only twice. So I don't know too much, but I mean,
you'll get there.
Yeah. I'm excited to go out there and see how it is.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to meet you and welcome to the Kings.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That is Keon Ellis along with our friend Jason Ross down there in Vegas. You may have caught that earlier in the week. Looking forward to seeing Keon and a lot of these guys battling for one of those last roster spots coming up this October. All right, we'll take a break. When we return, we got a lot of stuff still to get to you. Let's take our first open update of the day. We'll check the leaderboard, who's hot, who's very much not, and what we have to look forward to coming up this weekend. We'll do that right after this.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sports 1140 KHTK. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sports 1140 KHTK. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
Now, local businesses can get closer to every customer in their city with fast, affordable shipping. Introducing USPS Connect Local. You want speed? We deliver same or next day. You want savings? We give you supplies at a flat rate. You want less legwork? We do free pickups. Move your local business forward with the United States Postal Service. Let's connect at USPSconnect.com/local. Specific markets, restrictions apply. Same day or next day delivery expected, but not guaranteed with entry close to final destination.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave talking about my friends at American Energy. $49 tune-up offer. I did it 2 weeks ago. You should do it too. It's only $49 for an air conditioning tune-up, and you get a free indoor air quality test. Oh, it's so simple. Call today to schedule your appointment with my local friends at American Energy at 916-520-9990. Catch the 916 there, 520-9990. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Been around since 81. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going to make this, the summer event, the best yet?
Savings. Right now, save up to $10,250 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs, or $6,250 off MSRP on 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cabs. Couple that with up to 32 miles per gallon highway with the Ram EcoDiesel, and you'll have even more savings over trucks that are only a few years old.
32 miles per gallon highway for a truck? Are you sure?
Yep, 32 miles per gallon with the Ram EcoDiesel. Plus, we have over 600 available, including the hard-to-find Ram heavy-duty models.
Well, better hurry, because this kind of savings with those MPGs won't last long. Take a test drive today or see their full selection when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$10,250 total net savings after $6,000 factory rebates and $4,250 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,500 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Capital qualified. And $1,250 Conquest bonus cash. Must own or lease non-FCA group vehicle. $6,250 total net savings after $1,750 factory rebates and $4,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,250 Conquest bonus cash. Must lease or own non-FCA group vehicle. 5 net savings. Highway MPG stated according to US EPA estimates. See dealer for details.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right, but many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. And with helpful representatives just a call away, it's easy to understand why Pi is rated excellent by customers on Trustpilot. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
The new Fords have arrived at Folsom Lake Ford. I know you've been waiting for a new F-150 or maybe an Explorer or Expedition. Guess what? Folsom Lake Ford has them. Your truck headquarters for over 30 years right here in Sacramento is all stocked up with new Fords and used vehicles. Save with low interest financing on your favorite new models and zero down deals available on all new and used vehicles with approved credit. Get top dollar for your trade, making your monthly payment on your new Ford even lower. Folsom Lake Ford is the only dealership I recommend to my friends. A Triple Crown Award winner for sales, service, and finance. Highway 50 Folsom Exit, or browse fresh inventory online at folsomlakeford.com. It's updated almost daily. And if you can't find what you're looking for, give them a call. Tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford.
Sunrise Natural Foods wants to remind you that having a strong immune system has never been more important than it is today as we battle a global pandemic. Here at Sunrise, many of our customers are asking how they can boost their immune systems to stay healthy. Fortunately, there are many supplements that have shown to be beneficial for improving immunity, and we have the largest selection of supplements in town. Stop by our stores to check out our April savings. Sunrise Natural Foods, made with life's best ingredients.
The flagship.
Ball game, Sacramento wins.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
What?
You're a liar. COVID my butt.
I am at a...
You're an Aruba.
I told you I was going to the beach, just went a day early. Jeez, I will be off all next week. And it's about time, Jay.
I agree. You're a hardworking guy.
About time I get some time off.
You're a guy working hard.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget, though, you'll be able to see me on television the day I return. We'll do the show in the morning, and then I will be with my dad, front row. A's, Astros.
What?
Remember, I told you that
I know.
a couple months ago.
I do remember.
Very
that.
excited. Saw a couple of those tickets pop up at a price that was actually semi-affordable.
$15.
I've always wanted. Now that keep in mind, I did this independently. This is not a radio station hookup. This is not a partner hookup. Although I'm sure they would have. The A's have always been fantastic with that.
And I'm sure you'll find a way to get some, some stuff thrown in there from our friends at the A's.
No, the food and drinks included in the ticket.
I mean, aren't you going to try to get some field passes?
No.
Why?
No,
I bet your dad would really like that.
We're going as civilians, just fitting in, doing our thing. No, I will not wear Giants gear. I'm not going to be that guy that goes to a.
Will you wear A's gear?
No, I will absolutely not wear A's
will
gear.
your dad?
No, my dad's a Giants fan too. No, we'll be in just regular old clothes. But I've always wanted to sit in those seats for a baseball game, Major League Baseball game. I've never been able to do that. I want to do that with my dad. So we'll have all kinds of fun experiences.
I too have never done it, but I've heard it's actually like amazing.
I really just look forward to seeing the movement on the pitches more than anything.
Yes.
And again, it was an accessible situation. So we're going. And again, with the A's, it's like, we can ask the A's for tickets. They'll give them to us, but I can't do
those tickets.
Hey, could you hook me up with some tickets? Sure. No problem. Could they be front row center, please? Yeah.
Not those tickets.
That's not going to work. Also, breaking news during the break, Will Clark liked a tweet of mine. I'm not sure if I'm even going to finish the show. I made that's the pinnacle.
Okay.
Of my life.
Okay, pour on you. Let's try that over again. Hold on for me.
When it breaks, we have it first.
Right.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Breaking news.
Try again.
Yes, Will Clark during the break liked, and not only liked, but quote tweeted one of my tweets. It was, of course, him posting some merchandise and me saying, "Take my money." It is a sweatshirt with Nuschler, his middle name, on the front. And then I also noticed there's one that says Thrill on it. Are they overpriced? Yes. Will I end up probably getting one of them? Yes, because I am a honk for Will Clark, my childhood idol growing up. And then he liked it, which, of course, it's a merch thing. It's not like he likes me. But it's kind of the pinnacle of Twitter, Jay. At this point, Will Clark took the time for his...
I just saw the quote tweet.
Right.
It wasn't like any sort of.
It's an old man quote.
It is an old man quote. Order by end of Sunday to receive by July 30th, which I'm sure you will or already have.
Absolutely.
Also, him posting the video of him playing for Team USA against the Dominican Republic is making my morning.
Yeah, if you follow Will, there's like 3 videos he posts. He posts that one. He posts a regular season one where he hits or he posts the one against Greg Maddux where he hits the grand slam. And then he posts the video of him in his garage hitting off a tee a few years back with his white car in the background. All fun to watch. I got nothing else.
Okay. Just one more thing on that.
Yeah.
I am shocked Mason's middle name is not Nuschler.
Do you think I didn't try?
I'm wondering how much you tried. And we have a huge update on the Open, by the way.
Oh, do we?
Do you want me to give it?
Please do.
You make sure you do the read after.
Yeah, well, I'm not making I get to do the read, by the way. Let me intro you. Sactown Sports 1140's coverage of the 2022 Open Championship brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Back to the Sactown Sports 1140 studios, Jay Mars.
John Daly has just sunk an eagle from like 1 million feet out to move back under par.
Yes. John Daly is
Carmichael's finest.
Yes, he is the most famous person to come from Carmichael. John Daly is on the verge. He's still got quite a bit to play, but through 5 holes, he is 2 under for the day, 1 under for the tournament, just ahead of Ernie Els. It was an eagle 3 at the par 5 fifth. He is 1 under. The projected cut is even. I think that might move up to 1 under, but it's even right now. We are watching Tiger Woods play the final hole of his tournament. He will not make the cut. He is 9 over. He is currently 150th in a field of 156. Top of the leaderboard, Dustin Johnson, LIV golfer, one clear of Terrell Hatton, world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, former FedEx Cup winner a couple years ago, Patrick Cantlay, Cam Young and Cameron Smith, who are both still on the course very early in their rounds. I do not expect Dustin Johnson to be the leader when things are all said and done today. Both Camerons have way, way, way too much time ahead of him. Rory McIlroy, I think, just teed off. He was set to tee off at 6:59 our time. That was 7 minutes ago. I don't have the coverage right up in front of me. Jordan Spieth, 4 under on the day, 5 under for the tournament. He is lurking, tied for 13 on hole 17. Dustin Johnson's the big golf story in the sense that you do have an LIV golfer and a guy that has every bit of talent to win this thing. There's no question about that. But obviously it's the off-course stuff that matters. That being said, there's going to be a lot of talk about Tiger Woods, who is making the walk up 18 to a rousing ovation. There's going to be a lot of talk. In fact, I just saw Darren Ravel, ding dong, tweeted out, should Tiger retire for his legacy? And that poll is correctly being pounded right now.
And that's why he's your friend, by the way, because my friends don't ask questions like that.
It's one of those things where I generally, because I do sometimes the same thing, don't want to kill people for asking questions. It's like, okay, you ask a question, it gets pounded, great. Then you put that out there. It's good to know what the public thinks. But in this case, that is going to be some of the conversation. First off, Tiger Woods could play another 10 years, never win another tournament. This isn't like Jerry Rice with the Broncos. I don't find myself sad and angry watching Tiger Woods finish, effectively dead last in a field. We know what he's gone through physically. We know what the challenges are. He's walking much better, but you can still occasionally see the limp pop out. And as he is really soaking it in, and this moment right here is going to be one of the best that we remember from the Open. He's walking up 18, one of the most famous walks in golf, and he did something that the old Tiger never would have done when he is, and I'm looking at this right now, I'm trying to see, I don't want to get too crazy here. I believe we've got nope, we do. Tiger's crying. Tiger, I didn't know if that was the wind or something got in his eye. I mean, I'm being serious here. He went and took a hand and kind of rubbed both his eyes, but you can see it on his face. The ovation at St. Andrews is deafening, and I don't even need to have the sound on right now. And you're going to see this moment, if you're not watching it live, you're going to see this replayed for quite a long time, because for so many years, and for really his entire career, Tiger has been so very stoic, so very he's a robot out there. And as the years have gone on, and as his life has and again, much of it is own doing, no one's defending that, but he has had so many challenges in his life that he has had to try to overcome. You've seen him open up a lot more on the course, smiling, having more fun, taking in moments. And this is one of those situations where, even though he's not going to play Saturday and Sunday, I think just hearing that from the crowd, being able to experience that, and for the crowd to be able to see the emotion from Tiger Woods, that he truly does appreciate it. Not only is that going to endear him more to golf fans, but I think that's also, and listen, we all take our own experiences, and please don't laugh. There's no comparison. But watching my wife go through this knee injury over the last few months and all the subsequent issues she's had with it, really, when you see it up close, and this is just a normal person, not an athlete, we don't see the behind the scenes. We don't see the pain when you're going to physical therapy and after physical therapy, where you're laid up with your leg elevated and ice packs all over it and you're popping ibuprofen. And we don't see the times when you're crying and you don't know if you're ever going to walk correctly again, if you're ever going to be normal again. And anybody who's ever gone through any sort of rehabilitation physically completely understands what I'm talking about. And watching my wife go through it has been simultaneously encouraging, motivating, and also heartbreaking, because there's really nothing you can do other than encourage. Ultimately, the patient is out there on their own. And that's one thing that I think binds us all when it comes to golf. Tiger Woods is a billionaire. Tiger Woods has a legion of trainers and specialists that none of us could ever hope to have. But in the end, he has to do the work. He's the one doing the recovery when the cameras are off. And I think what he just experienced coming up that 18th green. That's something that's going to power him through in 3 weeks when it's 5 a.m. and he's doing leg presses at his home in Florida and he's trying to get through this whole thing to come back. It's him being able to appreciate that type of interaction, just how much people are trying to identify with him, our heroes becoming mortal. There's nothing that endears us more to athletes than when they are mortalized and when they're able to really drive home the fact that they do ultimately put their socks on 1 foot at a time, just like all of us. I'm not going to try to put Tiger up on that crazy pedestal other than to say, I think a lot of people get motivated. A lot of people appreciate his comeback, and I don't think he's anywhere near done. And later today, we're going to talk about the actual golf aspect and why he's nowhere near done. Don't count Tiger Woods out anytime soon. 3 for Madness. We'll talk about a big reinstatement for one of my, speaking of childhood heroes. We'll get to Summer League as well. And football. When are we allowed to get excited for football? We'll hit 3 for next.
Hey, you want easier access to the content you care about? You now have it. Sactownsports.com. A new way of covering the sports you love. A new digital world. The best and most expansive coverage of your local sports. Online at Sactownsports.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Flex. It's a better way to watch. Well, when the original schedule came out this year, the A's did not have a doubleheader, but because of a lockout, the A's played 2 twin bills in May against the Angels and the Tigers, and their All-Star break will be shortened by 1 day this year. The A's resume play after the break on Thursday the 21st. 1 ticket gets you 2 games, the A's and the Tigers at the Coliseum, a doubleheader beginning at 12:37. Ken Korak to tell you there's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there are a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest reliable network, the protection of security edge, and a reliable 5G network powering your mobile devices. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Log on to business.comcast.com for technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
All right, as Tiger Woods gets ready to hopefully sink his par putt at 18 and receive even more adulation from the crowd, I'm very much looking forward to. In fact, I don't know if there's a way we can run tape on it, but at some point today, would love to hear his post-round interview, Tiger Woods, that is. We'll keep you up to date on that later in the show. I'll tell you why Tiger Woods is nowhere near done being a competitive golfer, despite the result or lack thereof this weekend. In the meantime, Jay Mars at the Sactown Sports 1140 Studios, 3 for Madness.
The International Olympic Committee has reinstated Jim Thorpe, no relation to Otis, as the sole winner of the 1912 Olympic decathlon and pentathlon. If you could have one former player or team get a title they deserved and or earned, who would it be?
Okay, well, first off, LOL, I wonder, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, I was going to put a caveat there because I know who you're going to mention. You cannot mention the 2002 Kings.
Why not?
Because it's too easy of an answer.
It's the only answer.
It's not the only answer.
It's the only answer.
Several answers.
Let me say something about Jim Thorpe real quick. The Mick by Mickey Mantle was the first sports autobiography I ever read that my dad gave to me when I was very, very young. But the first sports book I ever remember, it was made for kids. It had pictures. It was very easy to read, blah, blah, blah. Was a little mini book on Jim Thorpe. Growing up, in my mind, Jim Thorpe was the all-time greatest athlete ever. And the only athlete I think we've seen all around that could rival the legend of Jim Thorpe is a guy like Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's another person that just was ridiculous. Jim Thorpe was every bit of that, obviously a different time period. And seeing his title reinstated retroactively was pretty cool. Now you've got me stumped because I know there's answers, but I got
a couple for you.
I've given this no thought because it's the 2002 Kings in my mind, but if they're disqualified, I'd love to hear your answers because maybe I can come up with one.
Well, some are via disqualification. Some are just and that's what I said, earned, or I wanted to cast a wide net here because I think of that U.S. Olympic basketball team that lost to the Soviets.
It's a great one.
They should be gold medaled. Roy Jones in the 88 Olympics should be gold medaled.
Yep, the
he
big
was
sit out.
screwed.
Yes,
yeah.
he was.
Reggie Bush should be reinstated as a Heisman Trophy winner. I believe that was 2002.
Didn't he get reinstated or no?
I do not think he did.
All right. Okay.
Those are just a few that came to my mind. That's like, wow, we really need to right these wrongs.
Those are all good, and I think actually it'd be an interesting poll question today, or not even a poll question, but just to see which ones we may have missed. As by the way, Tiger Woods for birdie, not par on 18, and it lips out. Of course it does. Tiger Woods sinks the 1-footer to finish at +9. He shakes his head, removes his cap, and obviously wanted to sink that putt for everybody. And he is still cap raised, does a full circle to salute the crowd, and he goes and shakes hands with his playing partners, including Max Homa. This is a big dream for him to be able to play with Tiger once again. And U.S. Open defending champion Matt Fitzpatrick, and a very emotional Tiger exiting 18. And again, I look forward to hearing that interview with him post round.
Also, real quickly on Thorpe question. So now that this has been reinstated 110 years later, like, do they make replica medals from 1912 and like give them to like his great grandchildren? Like,
I think
what
so.
are we doing here?
I think there will be a replica medal that's given. Now the other question I had is, what does that do to the former gold medalist? I would imagine there will be multiple gold medals. Everybody will keep their medals. They'll just add one for Jim Thorpe, and it's maybe later in the summer. This has always been a very intriguing subject for me, Jay, because I'm not necessarily sure where I stand. I go back and forth on retroactively reinstating people or things based on an adjustment post-career of the rules. In other words, I think there's an argument to be made that, listen, I understand that rule was outdated, and obviously there are huge exceptions. Obviously, we're talking about the Negro Leagues. We're talking about things involving racism, different things that are no-brainers. But for example, if somebody, in Jim Thorpe's case, we look back at why he was stripped, and it's stupid now. And we look at how the Olympics are no longer amateur in any fashion.
Right.
And it's stupid now.
Well, it was because didn't he play minor league baseball?
Yes, he played minor league baseball, made like $50.
Maybe.
But
for his career in minor league baseball.
Right. No, for real though. But he broke the rules.
Oh, that darn rule breaker.
But he broke the rules. It's like when Willie Mays got suspended for being a greeter for a casino, and now there's official partnerships between Major League Baseball and casinos. Now, I get that, but they broke the rules.
In this light, and then we got to move on. Doesn't this kind of, when we're saying, we look at this, like Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame, right? With all the betting and all that going, like Pete Rose should definitely be in the Hall of Fame.
Ultimately, I agree. And I am on the side of retroactively fixing, but I understand the argument that if you broke the rules, you broke the rules at the time. But it's a longer conversation. Number 2.
Question 2.
All right. As Summer League winds down, who's your top league pass team next year in the NBA?
I've got 2. Probably number 1, Josh Giddey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Chet Holmgren, the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's going to be, or could very well be, a fun team to watch. They may not win a lot of games as currently constructed, but there's some incredibly interesting and talented young folks on that team I'm looking forward to seeing. And everyone, the Kings aren't eligible. They're not a league pass team for us here locally, so that's why we're not going to talk about them. And the other one, kind of a dark horse, the Detroit Pistons.
You took mine. That was going to be mine. Yeah, because of Marvin and Jaden Ivey.
Marvin, Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey. Again, much like Oklahoma City, they're probably not going to win a ton of games. But boy, are they going to be very interesting to watch. You could special shout out to Orlando, to the Houston Rockets. Listen, there's and notice that we're picking teams that are not your Phoenixes, Bostons, blah blah blah. Although I will say this, I will find myself almost certainly, Jay, wherever he may be, and right now it's Brooklyn. I'm probably going to do, at least in the beginning of the year, I'm very, very interested to see. I'm really interested in how Ben Simmons' career is going to resume, and I'm going to be glued to the television when he plays again.
Yeah, I agree with you. And so the Pistons were my pick. The Nets, pending a Kevin Durant and or Kyrie Irving trade, could sneak up in there though too.
No, you're 100% right. We don't know. We don't know where things are going to lay out when it comes to rosters. There's still room and trades and things that need to happen. But I think right now we've got that group pretty down pat. Number 3.
Question 3.
When do we start getting excited about football?
I think there's a difference between what's on your radar and when you get excited. Football is beginning to get on the radar. It'll really get on the radar when training camp opens. There are 2 triggers for me that excite me about football. 3 to be exact. Number 1, training camp opens. It's okay. Well, now I'm a little interested. Secondly, college football starting. That gets me now. That's more about fall and tradition. And I've said this before, Jay. When I start seeing Hard Knocks previews, and when Hard Knocks hits HBO, as much as that show has kind of fallen by the wayside lately, that really gets me in the mode for NFL football.
Yeah, I wish I was one of those guys that got, because the NBA I get excited about, kind of year round. The NFL is more so around, I would say, week 2 of preseason, and here's why, because we start to see things take shape. I'm with you in the sense of I get excited so much more so as a sports talk host, producer, whatever, when training camp opens, just because content. But as a fan, once things start shaking out, we get through that first big initial roster cut. That's when I start to kind of gear up.
Yeah, it's funny because you and I have to very difficultly differentiate between, are we excited as fans or are we excited as show hosts?
2 different things.
Shockingly, the fall, as much as the next month is the toughest 30 days for sports talk radio, the fall, not that you're on cruise control, but my God, it's
shows right themselves.
It's too much content. You have to throw stuff out. We'll take a break. When we come back, all day long, we've been kind of revisiting some of the work Jason and everybody did down in Summer League in Vegas for Sactown Sports 1140. Want to remind you, you can get all of these on the YouTube page, also at KHTK's app and website itself, Sactown Sports 1140's website. Jason visited with Monte McNair. We've got that audio for you right after this.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
Do you ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on the computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
New Kia inventory has been arriving at Folsom Lake Kia. Check out the deals on all the new Kia models. You can even buy with 0 down with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your family-owned Kia dealership for over 20 years.
Hey, kids, it's Carmichael Dave talking to you about Capital Casino. Summertime heat is here, and Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite all of you to soak up some air conditioning, hang out, have some food, have a beverage. Always the most variety of table games in the region. Always the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Be part of the vintage motorcycle invasion of Monterey's WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, for the AHRMA Classic Moto Fest, July 15th through 17th. Nowhere else on the planet can you experience vintage motorcycles and daring sidecars, chasing down the iconic corkscrew flat track bikes at full speed, and off-road racing. The paddock includes a swap meet, a Strider Bike Adventure Zone, food trucks, and more. Tickets begin at $20, and children 15 and under are free. For tickets, visit WeatherTechRaceway.com.
The PGA Tour is back in Napa Valley with the Fortinet Championship, where fans experience every kind of cheers. Join us September 15th through the 18th at Silverado Resort and Spa for 4 days of world-class golf, Napa hospitality, and 2 nights of unforgettable performances featuring multi-platinum superstar Cole Swindell and Grammy-nominated powerhouse One Republic, all included with your daily ticket. Join Fortinet, Silicon Valley's leader in cybersecurity, at the Fortinet Championship. Secure your tickets now at FortinetChampionship.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed small business. Local ownership cuts out the red tape while ensuring our staff has the autonomy to make the quick, respectable business decisions necessary to deliver on our promise to always exceed the expectations of our customers. The power of our local family team will help you with your business printing needs. Contact us today at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I'm sure you've heard the phrase, let Safe Credit Union put you first. Well, that phrase is honest, genuine, and sincere. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Safe Credit Union. At Safe, you're not a number. You are part of a member-owned, community-focused family. Explore the benefits of saving, borrowing, and investing with a partner who puts you first. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave talking about my friends at American Energy. $49 tune-up offer. I did it 2 weeks ago. You should do it too. It's only $49 for an air conditioning tune-up, and you get a free indoor air quality test. Oh, it's so simple. Call today to schedule your appointment with my local friends at American Energy at 916-520-9990. Catch the 916 there, 520-9990. A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Been around since 81. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Got a take?
Make sure it's a hot one.
Take a shot right now. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports, 1140.
All right, here we are with Monte McNair. Finally tracked him down in Las Vegas. Have you been staying cool in Vegas, if there's such a thing?
Yeah, definitely trying to stay inside as much as possible. But maybe in the mornings, get out for a little walk or maybe play some tennis at some point, do something active. But so far, I've been staying cool and staying indoors and watching hoops and doing meetings and all that fun stuff.
Are you playing tennis at like 4? How are you being cool anytime in Vegas?
I think it's all relative, but maybe we can get out there like before the triple digits kick in.
True. So you're here to watch basketball. You've watched the Kings for a couple of games so far. I got to say the first game was one of the best games I've ever seen, Summer League or not, and the win the second game. Just kind of a quick overall evaluation of what you've seen.
I think the biggest thing from the first game, that we took away is just the fight of the guys. And, obviously sudden death, double OT did not go our way, but Summer League is so much about the development and, instilling habits, and especially with a new coaching staff coming in and seeing those guys. I forget exactly what we were, but down 18 or 19 with just a few minutes left. And then of course down 6 with 5 seconds left. And, to continue that fight and come back and force OT was fantastic. And then to take a tough loss, come back less than, really it's like a true back-to-back less than 24 hours later. And beat a good young Indiana team that has some interesting guys, and kind of stick with it and kind of pull it out at the end. We love to see that.
I know too. For me, just watching the game was great, but Sabonis and Terrence Davis and everybody, the baseline that was there, Herter, some of the new Kings, like they seem to be Davion into it as much as anybody. That's kind of cool to see.
It was really cool. The some of the videos making the rounds on social media of the celebration, not just of our Summer League bench, but of our some of our vets who were on the baseline. And it's always great. It's kind of Vegas has become a little bit of an unofficial time for a lot of the vets to come together and just, especially for us, we got a couple new faces, get to know each other, show some support for, not just our rookies and young guys on the roster, but other guys that are, trying to make their way into the league. And, that camaraderie, we always talk about it, but this is where it starts to build that going into the season for when you do hit those real rough patches, and every team will, to help get through it. And it starts now.
Let's kind of go in order. It's been a busy offseason for you. You get a new coach, new coaching staff as well. Mike Brown, you land there. You're all in on Coach Brown. I know we haven't really seen him yet, but his fingerprints are here now. What do you see, and what do you like so far from Coach Brown?
Well, I think Coach Brown starts with his experience, and what he's done in this league speaks for itself. He's coached for 30 years. He's been in the finals as a head coach. He's won championships, as an assistant, and he's just been around so many great players. And he's coached, he's coached guys really from many different backgrounds, experiences, skill sets. And so bringing him in here with, especially his recent stint in Golden State, coming off a championship. That stature of what he stands for, what he represents, and what he's accomplished and done is really exciting. And then I think the way that he sees the game, everybody respects. I respect. We've had great conversations. I think we're aligned very well on how, he's going to implement his philosophy and what he is going to preach. And I think it fits really well with our, current personnel, and we're continuing to try to build that out for him.
I know something you wanted to address was shooting. You certainly have done that. Is Mike Brown, how much of his role will be to also help the defense? Obviously, it's on the players, but scheme, kind of that championship pedigree, how much do you think that'll help on the defensive side?
Yeah, we talked coming into the offseason, certainly with the deadline trade for Sabonis and with the pressure that De'Aaron and Domas put on a defense. We wanted to make sure that we had enough shooting out there. And it's not just shooting. There's many other ways that you can complement those two guys, but certainly shooting and spacing will help them and help our team. And, on the defensive end, we think we have guys that can be two-way players. And one of Coach Brown's biggest things is that, guys are going to have to play both ends to be out there. And, we, at the end of the day, we need to score more points than we give up. And how that manifests itself, whether it's a high score, low scoring, it really doesn't matter to us. We just got to come out on top. And, I think Coach Brown, he has shown that he can coach a lot of different defenses. His Cleveland team is much different than like these recent Golden State teams that he's been a big part of the defense. And, I think that experience will serve him well. And I think we have guys that want to compete. Certainly we need to be better on that end.
Draft comes around, you move up, you go to number 4, you get Keegan Murray. I think everybody I've talked to here and just watching him, he just gets it. I don't know, you would have a better terminology, but he's unflappable. I mean, he looks the part. That's pretty mature so far. What are your impressions of Keegan?
Yeah, first, I'm just happy for Keegan. I think what he did last year at Iowa just was underappreciated. It was really a fantastic season. And, I think coming in here to Summer League and really a lot of maybe NBA folks' first chance to see what he is about. And, his ability, like he obviously scores the ball, he shoots it well, but defensively he's rebounding, he's guarding 2s and he's guarding 5s. He's guarding all up and down and showing just his versatility has been fantastic. And then to, show, like you said, the ice in his veins to hit that big shot. And then yesterday against Indiana to have, 4 or 5 big buckets down the stretch to close it out. It's become a little bit of a fun joke around the team, but I think it's truly just who Keegan is, how he presents himself, and how he approaches the game. And that's certainly going to serve him well with the ups and downs that we all know the NBA presents.
I think Jordy, the Summer League coach, said he doesn't fight the fight. And I like that. Like, it's him versus Paolo, and there's a lot of, there could be some machismo there. Paolo scores on him, and it's like, okay, you scored. Like, I'll get you when he just doesn't rush anything.
For sure. And I think the cool thing about him, we've now seen, I guess, 5 games here in Summer League. You'll be watching and thinking, man, like, I guess Keegan, he's maybe not as good today. And then you look up and he's got, 12 and 8 and it's, the second quarter, and, then he'll make a couple wow plays. He had a great back cut where he dunked over someone and got an and one, and he'll sprinkle some of those in, but he is just so calm, so efficient in how he goes about the game. And sometimes it's a little understated and, but it serves him well. It serves his teammates well.
How about 2 other guys? I mean, you're valuing everybody that's here, but obviously 2-way contracts in Nimi and Ellis. I think they've really shown well here. What have you thought about those 2 guys, especially Keita's development?
Yeah, I'll start with Neemias, and we saw a lot of development last year in Stockton, and getting to see him now after a couple months in the summer. Obviously, he hit a big 3, but for me, it's been more about his defensive presence, which we know is what he's going to hang his hat on, and he is just such obviously a big, tall, physical presence, but his ability to move his feet. He's gotten switched onto guys and get back in transition, a couple chase down blocks. Like, those are like the effort things, the development things that we love to see. And offensively, I think he's underrated with some of his passing and ability to score in the paint, use his size. And, if he hits a couple threes along the way, all the better. And then I think same for Keon, another guy who, it starts with what he does on the defensive end, and I think he's shown a great tenacity. He's been able to get into the ball, but also off the ball wreak havoc. I think he got his hands in a lot of those drives by Paulo where Keegan was doing his job and Keon came over and was able to help disrupt, and then offensively he's played a lot on the wing, and he's hit a bunch of threes here in Vegas, but also Jordy threw him at the point during the comeback, and to see him do that added a little more shooting and size around the team, and his ability to kind of command the team was a nice addition. And again, we like the two-way players, not the contract, but the guys who can play both ends of the floor, and both those guys have shown flashes on both ends.
And for them specifically, how do you – I don't know how far you map that out. There's certain games they can be with the Kings, certain games they can be with Stockton. Like, what's kind of a general plan? Because there's value to be up with the Kings, but also reps with Stockton. How do you kind of work that out?
Yeah, the league's made it a little easier with some of the recent rules that actually started during COVID. But and the other great thing is that our Stockton both practice and game facilities are both so close. And so these guys obviously will dictate their play. But we view our Stockton G League team as a fantastic development piece, not just for our players, but for our coaches, for schemes, for our staff. But certainly those guys, we'll see how it goes. But both Stockton and being around the team, learning what it's like, especially for Keon as a rookie coming in, seeing all that goes into it. We'll have plenty of flexibility with the contract, given how they do the rules now. Those guys will be able to earn as much playing time as they can earn, and we'll continue to develop them and be in sync with Bobby Jackson and the coaching staff in Stockton. And Mike's already done a great job of making sure that development plan is in place, because that's a huge key for these guys.
You mentioned the shooting that you added, Herder and Monk, obviously two big additions that you anticipate being a big part of this team. How did the trade one come about, and adding Monk, getting him back with Fox, but just also to help your backcourt?
Yeah, we like I said, we had targeted shooting as one of our priorities, not the only priority, and we felt we had some good options. But you never know what's going to actually happen when the free agency calendar ticks over, when trades continue to be discussed. And so when we had the chance to get Malik, who had a fantastic shooting year, really 2 years now where he's been one of the best shooters in the league, and his ability to just stretch defenses, and I think underrated again as a passer, playmaker, and good athleticism. He checks a lot of boxes. And then in addition, when the Kevin Herder trade presented itself, this is why we've preached our flexibility, and we've kept all our draft picks until this point. We finally found a trade that we thought would help us. We did give up one of our first round picks there, but Kevin is a guy who's 23. He's been in the playoffs. He was a starter on that Atlanta team that had a deep run 2 years ago to the Eastern Conference Finals. 6'7", can play really the 2-3, and as he said in his press conference, maybe even some 4, but can play make, can guard multiple positions, and of course can shoot the lights out.
All right, last thing for you to kind of tie up the loose ends. We heard reports of Quinn Cook, Matthew Dellavedova, Shabazz Muhammad, and then even the mystery man, Sasha. What can you kind of add where the Kings are with these guys?
Yeah, I think we're as we kind of get into the later parts of July here and start preparing for training camp, we got a few roster spots, and we're going to continue to monitor what's out there. Certainly trades are still a potential avenue. We have a couple signing tools as well, and some of the guys you mentioned there could potentially be in the mix. And I think the other thing we've talked about with Coach Brown is like the more competition we can have, the better. And we're certainly entertaining the thought of bringing a couple guys to camp and letting them battle it out. And I think what we're trying to build on the court of like a competitive spirit that can translate into training camp and fights for minutes, for time, for roster spots. And I think the more that we have, the better, because it's going to feed into all the stuff we're trying to do throughout the season.
I know Kings fans are excited. It's going to be fun to see them here. You want to go play tennis now? It's only about 1:15 out.
Yeah, we could probably last like maybe 2 games. I don't think the 5 sets that Djokovic and those guys were playing at Wimbledon is in the cards. But I should probably get out and do a little something. And I'm glad Dave wasn't on here. It's so much better with just me and you. We have just such a good chemistry. But just kidding, Dave. But we'll maybe it was a little cooler. Get out on the golf course or something. Yes. Finally take a break. It's been a long couple years. with this COVID stuff. But I would just like to give a big thank you to my staff, who since we came in, a lot of us, together for the first time 2 years ago. It's been a blitz and it's been crazy, but it's been a lot of fun. We feel like we're in a really good spot. Like I said, we don't feel like we're done. We don't ever feel like we're done, but I do hope we get a little bit of a break, see our families, recharge, and we'll be ready to go for the season.
Awesome. Thanks, Monty.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, when we get back, Deandre Ayton. Phoenix matches a max offer sent by the Indiana Pacers. What that means for the Suns, and what does that mean for Kevin Durant's trade market? We'll talk about it next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is giving you more NBA Summer League access than anyone else in Sacramento.
You talk with members of the coaching staff of Doug Christie, of Bobby Jackson, and there seems to be this universal feel that there's legitimate optimism.
Get all the latest on our social media channels
And online at SactownSports.com.
Coverage of the 2022 NBA Summer League is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Visit them at PowerCopiers.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going to make the summer event the best yet?
Savings. Right now, save up to $10,250 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs, or $6,250 off MSRP on 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cabs. Couple that with up to 32 miles per gallon highway with the Ram EcoDiesel, and you'll have even more savings over trucks that are only a few years old.
32 miles per gallon highway for a truck? Are you sure?
Yep. 32 miles per gallon with the Ram EcoDiesel. Plus, we have over 600 available, including the hard-to-find Ram heavy-duty models.
Well, better hurry, because this kind of savings with those MPGs won't last long. Take a test drive today or see their full selection when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$10,250 total net savings after $6,000 factory rebates and $4,250 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,500 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Capital qualified. And $1,250 Conquest bonus cash. Must own or lease non-FCA group vehicle. $6,250 total net savings after $1,750 factory rebates and $4,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,250 Conquest bonus cash. Must lease or own non-FCA group vehicle. 5 net savings. Highway MPG stated according to US EPA estimates. See dealer for details. At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. For 12 days, pros save big and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
New message.
What up? It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them, and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas.
Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you can get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
The 94th most popular celebrity from Carmichael
How popular do you want to be?
meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics are going to go for the win. Everybody here at Golden One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, welcome back. Nice shot by Monty at the end there. I thought we were going to cut that out, Jay.
No, that's our new show open for Wednesdays.
Tiger Woods guards a 75 in his final round at this year's Open. Want to remind you, of course, all of our Open coverage brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Carmichael Dave, Jay Mars, back in studio. Jason Ross will rejoin, we believe, on Monday. I am here due to COVID recovery. Big day today. I test for the first time in a couple of days.
All right.
Let's see. It's going to be, what would that be? 8 days since positive. Never had a fever. And I'm feeling about 95%, I would say. The only thing that's sticking with me right now is a little bit of a voice issue that comes in and out. And the fatigue, dude. The fatigue is so real.
Yeah.
But
Been there, done that.
Yeah, no, you had yours, what, about a little over a month ago?
It was over a month ago now, yeah.
I mean, listen, when you see what people have dealt with, and when you hear obviously all the horror stories, I feel really, really, really fortunate, as I'm sure you do too. I hope anyone who gets COVID gets it at the level I got, which is basically I was sick for the better part of a week, and 3 of those days was terrible, but not probably even top 10 of. I'll tell you this much, dude. When I got norovirus, when we had the Paradise Fires, and I went up to that Walmart, we were doing a bunch of stuff up there, and I came back with part of the norovirus that was spreading. I've never been sicker than that in my life, and to this day, still feel thankful because I got the norovirus that was spreading throughout the tent city at that Walmart in Chico, and all I could imagine was the families, moms, dads, kids, that were suffering from norovirus, but instead of being able to writhe around in bed for days praying for Jesus to take you, they were in a tent where it was hot and disgusting, and they were sharing porta potties with each other. So just a reminder, things can always be a lot worse. So we're very happy and very, very blessed to be back here and doing the show. We appreciate all of you joining us on the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube feed. Also texting at 916-339-1140. Still to come today, Jason Ross visited with Sam Amick. We'll talk about that. Also, what does Monte McNair need to do to get an extension? We'll talk about that. 10-11 minutes. You know, that's been kind of a go-to topic for us over the last few weeks, and we have at least one more open update for you. In the meantime, the Suns matched the Indiana Pacers 4 years, $133 million offer sheet to Deandre Ayton. Money fixes everything, and the Suns have made a commitment to Ayton. They're also a very much winning team. Were the finals favorites going into the postseason last year, and then Dallas shocked the world by taking them out in the semis. But with Ayton off the board now, not only does that take him off the board, but also probably takes the Suns off the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Ayton cannot be traded till January 15th at the earliest. So now you have Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant amongst those swirling around. And it makes you wonder, will Kevin Durant start the year? Will he start the year in Brooklyn? Jay, if you had to bet right now, what would you say?
I would still bet no, but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you too. I would lean towards no, but it's not entirely easy to move a guy like Kevin Durant. And I think if you're the Nets, you're going to look at what Danny Ainge has done in the Gobert trade, what Danny Ainge is set to do, and the prices you're hearing popped around in the Donovan Mitchell pending trade. You would think that Kevin Durant would grab a haul similar or better, but that's actually, I am very curious about that. I know it sounds silly to say, does Kevin Durant have the same value on the trade market as Rudy Gobert? And I think he does. But I also understand the argument that Kevin Durant is 33 years old. He's, although still elite as elite can be, you have to think he's tailing towards the end of his prime. But even if you were able to get past that, which a lot of teams can do, we see it all the time where teams know they're not going to get a complete contract of prime usage out of a player, but they'll still overpay to get those 1, 2, maybe 3 years. The problem with Kevin Durant is just not only do GMs, Jay, have to think about how much am I going to get out of Durant for the duration of his stay here, but how long is Kevin Durant going to want to stay here? I think that's as big a problem.
No, it is. He's shown a habit now since leaving OKC of, all right, well, I want to go hop on the Golden State bandwagon, get a couple titles. Cool. You know what? I'm unhappy here on arguably one of the greatest dynasties of the last 50 years. So I'm going to go play with my buddy Kyrie in Brooklyn. You know what? This isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. Get me out of here. Here's a short list of teams I want to play for. I agree. You do have to really factor that in when trading for Kevin Durant. The other side of that too is when you talk about the haul that they're going to potentially get for him, I'm curious to see, and I don't think they do. I don't think Brooklyn wants that like 5 first-round pick haul with the pick swaps, because let's not forget, because of the James Harden trade a couple seasons ago, all of their first-round picks and swaps are tied to Houston. So I don't think Brooklyn's going to be looking to rebuild anytime soon, because let's say they go out and stink for a few years. Well, Houston's going to be the benefactor of that, not the Nets. So I look around, and so what is fair for KD? I'm thinking this is going to end up being somewhat of a not, 50-50 trade, so much to speak, or excuse me, dollar for dollar trade. But I think Brooklyn's going to want an all-star quality player back, because I still think Brooklyn wants to win next year.
Well, 30 points, 7.5 boards, 6.5 assists for KD last year on 52% shooting, 38 from behind the arc, 91 from the line. It's an MVP caliber year, but in 55 games.
Yeah, that's the other side of it too, is how healthy is Kevin Durant going to be? Because you have to anticipate that number is probably going to be for the rest of his career around 50 to 65 games, somewhere in there.
You would think so.
And so you're going to have to obviously flank him with other talented players. So you look around the league, who has a roster that could work that way. I have one team in mind that I've seen a few people, kind of whisper about, but they have, I think, the assets to trade for Kevin Durant, and that's New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what does that look like?
I think it's a package centered around Brandon Ingram, right?
Yeah.
And you go into next season, and if you give up Brandon Ingram, and remember, New Orleans can give up an all-star, a young all-star like Brandon Ingram, but also give them those boatload of picks, because they have 57,000 picks left over from the Anthony Davis trade.
Sure.
And you put some matching salaries in there. That's got to at least intrigue. Brooklyn's picking up the phone, right?
I would think so. I think the question there is if I'm the Pelicans, I just don't know, man. They're so set up right now. That is just,
it's a almost title or bust move, right? Because Zion's injuries are so, up in the air. Then you factor in KD. But if they are healthy, if you can get 60 games out of KD and 65 games out of Zion and 70 games out of CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's a scary team.
No, you're 100% correct. More on that a little bit later. Also coming up next, I'll tell you there's a national analyst that just put out a projected wins, losses, gained or lost based on offseason moves, including draft and free agency. And I'll tell you why the Kings, or should I say where the Kings are in those projected, whether they're gaining or losing ground on last year's record. And also, let's talk about Monte McNair, who just spoke to Jason Ross. What does he need to do to get an extension We'll get to that right after this.
Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube.
To me, it's a must-watch.
Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show.
Plus, get exclusive content.
Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
Now, local businesses can get closer to every customer in their city with fast, affordable shipping. Introducing USPS Connect Local. You want speed? We deliver same or next day. You want savings? We give you supplies at a flat rate. You want less legwork? We do free pickups. Move your local business forward with the United States Postal Service. Let's connect at USPSconnect.com/local. Specific markets, restrictions apply. Same day or next day delivery expected, but not guaranteed with entry close to final destination.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friend Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. Shelby, Peter, the whole team over there at RefinanceWithShelby.com, making it happen. Listen, local lenders. Local lender, a reputation to uphold. With other banks, you're just a number. Why would you possibly want to purchase or refinance from someplace in Southern California or Florida or Texas or Ohio? Why don't you try purchasing or refinancing with local folks that live amongst us, that worry about word of mouth, that know the title companies, that know the appraisers, and if you're trying to purchase, that know the realtors? So when realtors are looking at multiple offers, they say, you know what? I've worked with Shelby before a bunch of times, and I know if you got a pre-approval from him, your deal is going through. They can close a purchase loan in 17 days. That's speed on your side with a local lender. You can compete with cash offers. RefinanceWithShelby.com, NMLS number 279051, BRE number 0186435.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed small business. Local ownership cuts out the red tape while ensuring our staff has the autonomy to make the quick, respectable business decisions necessary to deliver on our promise to always exceed the expectations of our customers. The power of our local family team will help you with your business printing needs. Contact us today at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Be part of the vintage motorcycle invasion of Monterey's WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca for the AHRMA Classic Moto Fest, July 15th through 17th. Nowhere else on the planet can you experience vintage motorcycles and daring sidecars, chasing down the iconic corkscrew, flat track bikes at full speed, and off-road racing. The paddock includes a swap meet, a Strider Bike Adventure Zone, food trucks, and more. Tickets begin at $20, and children 15 and under are free. For tickets, visit WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Coastside Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The WAVE technology at Coastside Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Coastside Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
The flagship.
Ball game, Sacramento wins! KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay! Hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jay Mars. Jason Ross should rejoin us on Monday, or should I say rejoin Jay on Monday.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yes.
If he doesn't.
Well. Jay and Frankie in the morning.
Might be Jay and CBS Sports in the morning. Might be doing the last hour with DA. He just doesn't know it yet.
Speaking of Jason, he sat down with Sam Amick earlier this week from Vegas as we've been revisiting some of those visits, and we will play that in just about 13 minutes. In the meantime, there was one of my favorites, Andy Bailey. He's a good follow on Twitter. Does a lot of work for Bleacher Report, has his own blogs, and he's very analytic-y, if you will.
Oh, I love the analytics.
He put out a list of teams and the estimated wins they gained versus wins they lost based on who they acquired, whether it be through free agency, trade, or draft, and who they lost. So what you do is you take the estimated wins and you subtract from that the estimated losses, and you come up with a figure. And I thought it was quite interesting that according to Andy's numbers, the Sacramento Kings are set to gain the 7th most wins in the NBA as of right now. They lost Damian Jones, Justin Holiday, Mo Harkless, and Dante DiVincenzo. They gained Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter. This does not count draft picks, so it actually might be even better for the Kings. He estimates based on just Monk and Huerter alone, they gained just under 9 wins, 8.9, and in losing the rest, 4.3 losses based on that. So the difference there is a positive of 4.6 wins based on last year. And again, that does not include Keegan Murray, Keon Ellis, or anybody else they acquired through the draft. So you never know with stuff like this.
Could be inching close to that 37 win mark.
That's the thing. So it brings us to Monte McNair. Now, every time I do, and I like to do this every once in a while, I do an approval rating poll. You could almost flip what the approval rating is of Kings ownership versus Monte McNair. And in the last one I did, do you approve of the job Monte McNair has done? And mind you, these aren't like 200-300 vote deals. These are 3,000-4,000 votes, which is not everybody, obviously, but it's a good chunk of the Sacramento Kings fan base, at least on social media. And Monty is polling somewhere in the 90 to 92% range.
Is that good?
It's incredibly good. It's hard to get 92% of anybody to agree on anything. And we've talked about this before. I think it's a joke, except it's not funny, that Monte McNair hasn't been extended yet. And not for the automatic reasons people might think. Now, you might sit there and you might say, well, hold on, Dave. Monty's been the GM now going into 3 years. The team has not made the playoffs. The team was, about 20 games under 500 last year. There haven't really been any crazy signature moves. Obviously, great draft with Tyrese Halliburton and acquired Domantas Sabonis, so we'll still call that a wash, but that's a great move. Donovan Mitchell seems to rank about where he was drafted last year at 9.
What about Davion Mitchell?
I'm sorry, Davion Mitchell. I haven't been doing that all week too. I've been so proud. And then Keegan Murray, at least through summer league, looks like at the very least a good pick at 4. Not bad. Not outperforming. It's just where he should have gone one way or the other. You look at the peripheral moves. Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter aren't going to blow anyone out of the water, but bring more talent, especially being able to get a free agent as young as Monk to come here and sign for a couple of years. Kevin Huerter's a different story a little bit. Again, obviously adding talent, and it's an upgrade. We've said before, the caveat there is the draft pick that's involved and what might hamstring them down the road. I really don't believe you trade draft picks like that, especially Kings first rounders, unless it's an absolute home run swing or something close to that. But the team is better now than when, on paper at least, than when Monty took over, number one. Number two, they seem to be trending better with this is Monty McNair's first coach that he was able to hire, and Mike Brown. And now you're looking at a situation where you're going into this year, and Monte McNair is on the final year of his deal. So he is, in effect, a lame duck GM. You have a coach that has been signed to a 4-year deal. And it just is, to me, an unnecessary distraction. Now, Jay, when I say not for the reasons people may think, you could argue Monte McNair should be extended on merit. But what we've always argued is that though we don't know what Monte McNair is making, I would say it's plus or minus right in the range of $1 million a year, which is a ton of money for us, but is an absolute drop in the bucket in the NBA, especially when you consider that it factors not at all into the cap. So the idea here is you extend Monte McNair for at least 2, if not 3 years, and you throw out a team option for a 4th. You're almost certainly not firing Monte McNair during this season. If you were going to fire him, it would happen in the offseason.
Sure.
And if you chose
conventional wisdom would say so. This is the Kings.
Yes, I know that's a point well taken. But the idea there is that if you did part ways with him this summer, even after extending him, you've lost $2 million, which is less than what you paid Luke Walton last year and will pay Luke Walton this year to not coach the team. You've done this a ton. It doesn't affect your cap. It sends a wonderful message. There's very little downside to me in extending Monte McNair, and it bothers me that it hasn't been done yet.
I agree with you. I think, again, conventional wisdom would say, look, he has incrementally improved this team over the last couple seasons. He inherited a mess. They weren't going to be an overnight fix as much as maybe the ownership group might have wanted it to be, as much as the fan base might have wanted it to be. He wasn't going to make moves to make moves. He's shown that already.
Yes.
I have to wonder, do you think, we're just, guessing here, obviously, do you think ownership has any trepidation about extending him since didn't Vlade get a 3-year extension and then was fired not even a year later? Do you think that plays into it?
I think it might, but I don't think it should, because Vlade Divac and Monte McNair are 2 different books and 2 different chapters in the story of the Kings. And you'll remember, and you brought it up perfectly, that Vlade Divac, after that Dave Yeager year, where they let Dave go, but were so close to 500. Everything was trending in the right direction. Here we go. Let's extend Vlade. Well, I think it was the right idea. It did not work out properly. That should not inform your decision with Monte McNair. Agreed. And the more, everything right now is trending positive. People are happy. People are feeling good. And of course, this whole thing could go away next week if they sit down with Monte and his representatives and re-sign him. And the fact that we as fans and media are so wrapped up in this, just honestly tip of the cap to Kings fans, who are some of the most intelligent in the world when it comes to their team and also understand what things mean. Most fans don't care if their GM has a contract or not, but we understand stability is a big deal here in Sacramento. The longer this goes on, Jay, the more guys like me seriously worry about why. Why are they not? Yeah. Why have they not? When all logic dictates that you give this guy an extension, even if you're not sure you're going to keep him after this season. It worries me. It tells me that there is a little smoke here, and I'm very worried about Monte McNair's job security.
Well, I want to go back to what you just said and why it worries you, because, again, go back to this idea that it is conventional wisdom, given everything that has happened, and most teams would have extended the GM, even if it's a 2-year extension with the second year being a team option. There is something there in place, usually, big if, capital IF, the ownership group feels the GM has done his job well.
Yes.
I think the GM has done his job well. You think the GM has done his job well. The fan base, for the most part, seems to think the GM has done his job well.
Overwhelmingly.
So, and going back to now, again, dealing with the Kings and dealing with this ownership group that has made some very questionable decisions in the past, it starts to ring all those alarms. And when you're going into a season where there are expectations that this team may finally at least make the postseason, not necessarily the playoffs, but the postseason, there's positive energy around. It just feels like every time that there is something positive going on, something stupid happens. And we're trending towards that right now, going into the season, that something stupid might happen.
And we have every reason to believe that.
Yes.
Every reason to believe that when you go back to the Michael Malone firing and what happened there, when you go to the circumstances under which DeMarcus Cousins was traded at the All-Star break while he was in the middle of an interview.
Isaiah Thomas being traded for peanuts.
Isaiah Thomas being traded for peanuts.
To sign Darren Collison.
Even the hiring of Luke Walton and how quickly that was done without a real search whatsoever when there didn't seem to be a competitive market for them.
And Dave Yeager had just had the best wins in-season win total of any coach since Rick Adelman.
And that's a different topic. And I've
Sure.
often said I that's where I'll stand in front of the franchise a little bit. I think that move had to happen for other reasons. But in this case, it's just that we talk about unforced errors. These are unforced errors. It's messaging that you could, it's pennies on the dollar when you equate the positive PR, the culture, and the stability that this team and this franchise needs. And by the way, Jay, one more thing I know we got to break. In addition to the free agent, draft picks, acquisitions, this, that, whatever, Monty hasn't been perfect at all. But in addition to all that, to build a case for him, also the leaks. You've heard people in our own media that are upset that they've been shut out of this and shut out of that. I say, listen, I get it, but good. And same for me. I'm good with I bet my access compared to how it was before has crawled to a trickle, and I am 100% here for it. The leaks aren't happening like they used to. There's more stability, and he's assumed more control.
And here's the big thing that comes with the stability and everything you're talking about. Has Monte McNair made some mistakes? Sure. Monte McNair hasn't made a big mistake yet.
Correct.
Vlade Divac's made big mistakes. Pete D'Alessandro, big mistakes. Monte McNair has not made a big mistake yet.
Meanwhile, you have a lame duck GM, and you're watching your former GM sitting courtside with your ownership during summer league games. Is it a big deal? Am I going crazy because Vlade is around the franchise? No, I love Vlade. I'm fine with that. It's just weird and unique to the Sacramento Kings. We'll take a break. When we come back in just 60 seconds, Jason Ross sat down with Sam Amick, kind of grading the offseason. We'll talk about that next.
A revamped website, expanded coverage of the teams you love, more accessible than ever. Where is it? Online at SactownSports.com and on your dial at 1140. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
When there's trouble in the bedroom, it can hurt more than just your confidence. It can hurt your marriage or dating life. Not knowing if you'll be able to perform at any moment doesn't help either. Pacific Men's Clinic can help. Go to the clinic that specializes in one thing, making your love life the best it can be by solving the problem at its source. Pacific Men's Clinic's non-invasive procedure. It's safe and pain-free. Call 916-545-7577 for your free consultation now. That's 916-545-7577.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only local sports show in the morning.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, here we go. We tracked him down. The international man of mystery, Sam Amick from The Athletic. Are you counting down the days to vacation?
I am indeed. Jay Ross, always great to see you. It's a shorter countdown than normal this year, checking out a little bit earlier, but also having to come to grips with the reality that chances are, while we're on vacation, Kevin Durant probably get traded somewhere. Kyrie probably go to the Lakers. Craziness will happen. The NBA has done an incredible job, as you know, of just kind of, capturing the spotlight almost 12 months out of the year. So even though you feel like we're kind of almost done, there's always something going on.
So you've got this amazing European vacation, but if either of those two things happen, do you have to work, or does the family understand? What's the process? So as often happens in our visits on KHTK, I will be like an athletic commercial for my company, because to our company's credit,
we are loaded when it comes to good basketball writers, and we have other folks who can weigh in. So in years past, like when I was at USA Today and I was the only West Coast-based national writer, you felt like anything west of the Mississippi, if I didn't have something to say and have something to report, then we didn't have a presence. But our place nationally, when you're talking about Shams Charania, John Hollinger, Joe Varden, all these guys, we got bodies, we got good voices.
So, but can you be get into full Clark Griswold European vacation mode, or
yes,
will you follow Durant when how do you can you get away?
You can, you have to, not to get corny, but you and I have been doing this a long time. You kind of reaches the point, especially we got families, I think you kind of owe it to them to go be in the moment a bit and enjoy yourself. Will I maybe jump on the phone for a few minutes? Am I going to read, maybe send a few texts? We'll see. But, you don't want to have it become a working vacation.
I want to ask you about the Kings in a minute, but when you're here, your colleagues, the other people, everybody that runs into, is that still the number one topic? What's going to happen with KD and Kyrie? Or what are you guys all talking about here?
That's a big one because it's also had a ripple effect of tying up things like the Deandre Ayton free agency, where he's a restricted free agent, but teams have not wanted to give him. For one, the market's pretty dry in terms of max contracts, but the idea of him signing an offer sheet, with anybody could potentially rule out certain sign and trade scenarios that, would be Durant related. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of layers to it. So, those Kyrie, Kevin, Ayton are the big ones. Today, as you and I talk, more summer league focused, but James Wiseman for the Warriors going to play later in the day. And for them, that's a big one. That's their number one pick that obviously been hurt. So I love it though, because last year when we were here, you're still making your way through the pandemic like we are now, but you and I are sitting here talking in a physical space that the nickname is the Pit, which is really like a who's who of the NBA. And last year we thought in terms of media access that we would be back in the Pit, but then there was a COVID uptick right before Summer League it was in August last year. It was much later. So we didn't get this kind of access. And that matters a lot for what we do. I mean, you can probably tell, I'm tired. I'm tired out here, but you are just running into everything from GMs, agents, assistant GMs, players, coaches, just chatted with Alvin Gentry a few minutes ago, obviously still with the Kings. So it's a great event. You just can't replicate, these kind of interactions anywhere else.
I hear Vegas voice. I mean, it's there. Yeah. That's whatever happens here. It's just you've got Vegas voice.
I do have it, and I guess I can confess publicly. I have an annual habit of enjoying a stogie. So you're hearing stogie voice as well.
Let's ask you about the Kings. I know you've seen them play. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Everybody kind of watches games, kind of checks in and out. But Keegan Murray's their number one priority, at least out here. What have others said? What impressions have you heard from other people when they kind of talk about the Kings and Keegan Murray?
A lot of really good buzz. He's played well. The other day, the Magic game was a barn burner, making Summer League history with big comeback and double overtime and sudden death. And obviously they got the short end of it with that overturned Paolo Banchero block. But, Keegan hitting that three in the corner. Those are good Summer League moments. I loved, and admittedly, I watched that game with Keegan more closely than any of the other ones. But the spirit of his kind of mano-a-mano matchup with Paolo was cool, because I told somebody earlier today that this environment's weird because the media is very focused on these relationship stuff I talked about. You're not always watching very closely, but sometimes it's good to look up at the court and remind yourself that guys are absolutely getting after it because their livelihood is on the line. Not just the lottery picks, but all these Summer League guys. Yeah. And, I was in the gym on the other side, and I don't know, I'm blanking on what team it was. Oh, the Pacers. I'm sorry, Pacers-Kings game. The Pacers were celebrating like they beat the Kings in a playoff game, and bodies on the floor. So the basketball is actually pretty good, and it's obviously grown. And I'm definitely not answering your question, Jason, because I'm fatigued. Keegan Murray is getting buzz. He's a really good player. Obviously, the discussion immediately becomes Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray. plenty of people think they should have taken Jaden. I'm torn, and I've been telling people, like, I like the moves of the offseason. I think they'll be better, but I would be surprised if they're in the playoffs because the West is tough. So it's like, you know, they are obviously incredibly invested in De'Aaron Fox, and felt, just me talking, but I think it's true, like, that Keegan was a better fit, you know. But it certainly helps that so far he looks like a hell of a player who can help right now.
So you do like Herter, you like Monk, those with drafting Murray, but to your point, just the landscape of the West, it may not be enough.
It is. I got to paint the picture for your listeners here. The Warriors are about to take the floor. James Wiseman, you know, the man of the hour, just walked by us. So this is just giving you a little flavor. Jonathan Kuminga coming by. I don't think he has time for an exclusive interview, but
we could have done a walk by.
We could have, exactly. But repeat the last question. Apologies. Man, I'm a train wreck here.
Just the overall additions you said you like, but just because the landscape, you just don't think it's enough of the West.
It's not. I mean, we'll see. Minnesota, I like what they did with Gobert. I do. So I think Minnesota's better. New Orleans, you know, finishing the way they did last year, getting Zion Williamson. The point is, for the Kings' purposes, some of these fringe playoff teams, you know, are not fringe anymore. So they're going to have some slots in the West playoff landscape that look like they're unofficially already filled. The numbers game just looks tough right out the gate. But I like the Monk deal a lot. I thought it kind of like helped them avoid criticism from the DiVincenzo situation. And I like the idea that if De'Aaron's going to shock the world and take another jump and look kind of worthy of everything they've invested into him, not just contract-wise, but building your roster around De'Aaron Fox, then Malik, a guy that he has a personal connection with from Kentucky, and a guy coming off the best year of his NBA career on that contract, is really good production, really efficient contract. The Kevin Huerter one, you got control of a guy who around the league people still think he's a pretty good player. And the one misnomer is that he's like a pretty decent team defender. I know the analytics on the Kings side, the work they did, that he like really stood out. That defensively, Mike Brown should be able to do some things with him there. It's just a matter of like how much better can they be.
That's what I want to ask you about. I mean, coaching, whether it's been the problem or part of the problem, you know, you need better rosters and all the turmoil, everything they've been through that you know. How much of an impact do you think Mike Brown and the new staff can have in making this team better?
Before you even get to the X's and O's, I think what Mike had to say at his press conference and then where Mike is at. Nice to see you, sir. Good. Oh, sorry, doing a radio thing. Yep. Summer League people.
Yes.
Is the culture part of the conversation that he shared at his press conference is legitimate. And if he can come in, he's a very positive guy, but he's not a sugarcoater, and he's pretty rough. Now, rough's the wrong word. He's just pretty direct with young guys. You know, it's funny because as the Warriors roll by, it makes me think about, you know, Jordan Bell, the former Warrior who got in trouble when he was with the Warriors. We wrote about this at the time, and he had put some stuff on Mike Brown's hotel bill. I might have told you this story.
Yes.
And like, and Mike kind of like decided that, you know, young fella needed to learn a lesson. And so that's his style. And on the court, Steph Curry has talked about how the Warriors have these defensive report cards, and they all really want to check out well and have Mike's approval. That speaks volumes. These are future Hall of Famers, some of the best of all time. So the culture stuff and him really being like what they want is for him to legitimately be like the most influential member of the organization. So that, first and foremost, will be interesting to watch unfold. And then, you know, on the court, he's just a guy that we know defensively he's done some really good things in the past. But I do wonder, because personnel-wise, you know, you can't always make chicken soup out of chicken you-know-what, and that's going to be his challenge.
All right, lastly, we're hearing about Dellavedova, Quinn Cook, Shabazz Napier as potential roster fillers for this team. Any insight onto that and what, if anything, those guys could provide?
I wish I had more for you there. I certainly saw the reports of them working out. Dellavedova, it's interesting because I'm trying to remember if it was a knee. He dealt with something not too long ago where it looked like he might have to retire. and so he's obviously trying to make his way back. Quinn Cook, I keep mentioning the Warriors. He had kind of 15 minutes with the Warriors with some fun moments. He's a shooter, but they're trying to work around the edges and find guys that can help them. Again, it obviously all goes back to the West and the idea that they need firepower, and they it's going to be tough.
Well, enjoy your European vacation. We won't hear from you for a couple weeks. I hope you just stay disconnected and enjoy your time.
Thank you, sir. Always good seeing you, Jay.
That is Jason Ross and our good friend Sam Amick. And yes, Facebook is to be believed. Sam and family are in Europe. I know Sam has family over there. So some well-deserved time off for our good friend Samuel. When we come back, we've got one more update on the Open Championship. Speaking of Europe, we'll get to. We'll also wrap up some stuff with the show. And then the news, the final news for the week. No Friday Fun and Games because no Jason, but we will have the news, celebrity birthdays, and so much more at 8:44. Last half hour of the show. Don't miss it. Coming up right after this.
Live and local. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave talking to you as always about my good friends at Hoblet Dodge. And right now, you can save up to $10,250. That's off of MSRP on brand new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs. There's over 600 Rams available, including those hard-to-find heavy duties. Save up to $6,250 off MSRP on those new 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab. Savings all over the place. Let me give you some stats on Hoblet, the #1 Ram truck dealer in California, #3 in the whole United States. They don't have your truck in stock. Use their inbound sold list to secure your perfect truck. If it's not in stock, you can reserve one along the way. And guess what? No dealer markup on most popular Ram and Jeep models. You got other dealers adding dealer markup. Hoblet's still offering discounts. As always, search, select, and save at hobletdodge.com. No hassle, no pressure, ever dealership. And you tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
The PGA Tour is back in Napa Valley with the Fortinet Championship. Join us September 15th through the 18th at Silverado Resort and Spa for world-class golf, Napa hospitality, and powerhouse performances by Cole Swindell and One Republic. Secure your tickets now at FortinetChampionship.com.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Anyone here have an allergy? Resigned to admiring spring blooms through watery eyes? Trading the smells of summer for stacks of tissues?
I chew.
We'll take that as a yes. Sunrise Natural Foods has the remedies you need to beat allergy season. Sunrise Natural Foods can help you overcome sinus problems and headaches. Sunrise Natural Foods will help you take back the spring and enjoy the season. Sunrise Natural Foods, made with life's best ingredients. In Auburn, Roseville, and at sunrisenaturalfoods.net.
Welcome to Lowe's Summer Savings. Find great deals across the entire store and check out the back aisle for savings you can't pass up. Get up to an additional $500 off now on select major appliances, or snag our Allen & Roth Harlow Brush Nickel Widespread Faucet. Was $99, now $79. Enjoy great savings all summer long at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Appliances in-store must ask cashier to apply discount at time of purchase. Online must enter applicable promo code at checkout. Savings vary based on purchase amount. While supplies last, about 7/14 through 7/20.
Safe is such a great word. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Safe Credit Union. Safe just makes me feel secure with a sense of comfort. And in these turbulent times, finding anything that makes you feel protected is good for the soul. Being a member of Safe keeps your money local, gives you access to lower rates and higher dividends, while also giving you a sense of comfort that comes from knowing that your money is, well, safe. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
They've been here for a combined 50 years.
Hey!
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, we will get to our open update here in just a second. But, Jay, I want to take a moment, since it's Friday, and I'd like to salute
your shorts.
I'm wearing shorts today.
Oh, you're too old for that show, aren't you?
No, I am. What show are we referring to?
Salute Your Shorts on Nickelodeon.
Oh, that was that. Oh, excuse me. No, I want to salute. I want to salute hummus.
Oh God.
Not a lot of people, not enough people, I think, have gone into the world of hummus, which is basically it's a blend of garbanzo beans, tahini paste, so you can use peanut butter in a pinch, a little lime juice, garlic traditionally, and spices. You can make it spicy. You can put pine nuts on top of it. You can really, I would say hummus is kind of the Mediterranean ranch dressing.
Hummus is trash.
Wow, you really think so?
Not a fan at all.
What is it? The texture, the taste?
The texture is fine. It's the taste.
Really?
Ugh.
You can do so much as I did during the break, because that's why I'm shouting it out, because I needed a quick snack. First off, it's filling. It's relatively good for you. It's better than a lot of the other sauces people might use. But it's just so darned diverse, man. You can put it on a sandwich. Like, man, I mean, if you ever had a turkey sandwich and you put hummus on there instead of mayonnaise, you can dip veggies in it. You can dip Triscuits in it.
Dude, hummus is hipster peanut butter.
I was with you on the hipster thing. The peanut butter thing. Peanut butter is not as diverse.
Not as diverse, but that's why the hipsters will sell it to you. Is that hummus is more diverse and more healthy. The nutrients that it packs in.
Hummus has been around a lot longer than hipsters have.
Are you sure?
It is an extremely old food.
Buddy.
I'm a big fan of Mediterranean food.
Wasn't Jesus a hipster?
I will leave that to you. 1-800-920-1140. Send your letters to Jay Mars. Shout out to hummus. That's from me, not from Jay. Also, shout out to the Open, where Cameron Smith, who, by the way, Jay, he's going to win this thing.
Oh, you call it? He's at minus 11 right now, right?
Cam Smith's going to win this whole thing.
The Gooch is only 4 back.
Cam Smith has the perfect game for St. Andrews. Although that chip he just let out was not the greatest. And he has been one of the better players this year. Now, listen, he is prone to the meltdown here and there, but Cam Smith's an incredibly interesting character that not a lot of people are really aware of. I know in the golf world they are, but this dude is more than the mullet and the mustache. He's actually a pretty fun dude. With a lot of character traits. I think he's winning this whole thing. And as you just mentioned, he currently has a 1-shot lead. It's a battle of the Camerons. Cameron Young at 10 under, Cam Smith at 11 under, Smith 6 under through 11, Young 2 under through 9. As of right now, on pace, Cameron Smith to have the round of the day, which so far is going to Adam Scott, who is at 7 under for the day. He carded a 65. 7 under as well for the tournament. We talked about Dustin Johnson, who is now 2 shots back, was the leader not that long ago, about an hour ago. World number 1, Scotty Scheffler, tied for 4th at 8 under as well. And that leaderboard is really, really starting to pile up. Sahith Theegala, who is one of the lesser heralded young players, but has just been playing lights out tournament to tournament for the most part this year. He is 4 under in a tie for 6. Rory McIlroy is even on the day through 4. He's going to need to put some numbers up on the board to get into that top 5, top 3, where you'd think he'd be. Jordan Spieth in the clubhouse, 4 under. He is in a tie for 21st with, amongst others, John Rahm. And Barclay Brown, the amateur, will make the cut, also in there at 4 under. He was even for the day after being top 5 yesterday. Names of note that you may be looking at. I know Jay cares nothing about any of this except for his guy, Carmichael's John Daly, who has shot up the leaderboard 12 spots. He is 1 under for the day through 12. John Daly is sitting at even par. The projected cut still right now at plus one, which means that guys like Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Will Zalatoris, Brooks Koepka, all still out on the course. Louis Oosthuizen, Henrik Stenson, all at +1, all on the bubble. Guys that look to be completely cut. Tony Finau will miss the cut barely at +2, as will Patty Harrington, Keegan Bradley. And, of course, we talked about way down the leaderboard, Tiger Woods, who finished out his 2 rounds at St. Andrews. Tiger finishes, or as of right now, is tied for 149th. Was 3 over on the day. When you add that to his 6 over yesterday, he shoots a 78-75 for a +9. There will be no miracle heroics for Tiger Woods out at St. Andrews. So there you go. There's your update on the Open. And I want to remind you, all your Open updates brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it is all about choices and it is always about quality. So we've got about 3 minutes left in this segment, Jay, and we're done with the Open. I'm wondering where we go here before the news.
Where do we go from here? Now that all of the children have grown up. Alan Parsons Project, if anyone caught that.
Well, I'm too young for that. Let's see. We talked about the Suns matching the Pacers' $133 million offer for Deandre Ayton. Ayton will return to Phoenix for 4 years. At least that's what his contract will say.
Former King Tristan Thompson expecting a second child with Khloe Kardashian.
Well,
Gender's been revealed.
Boy or girl?
Let's click on it and see. Baby number 2. Come on.
Wow. Everybody
it's all headlines. Everyone wants me to click. I don't want to click. Just say what it is.
One. Just waiting on this one.
By the way, I'm convinced that they're having this child via surrogate, that's just some chick he got pregnant.
Really?
I don't know what the hell the
I 100% do not follow the babies of
why?
Because I don't know. It's just
like you mean on Twitter or just in general?
Yes. It's just too TMZ to me. Speaking of, you may have seen this yesterday. LL Cool J gave a video tour of the $1 million plus per week yacht that he and Magic Johnson, along with a slew of other celebrities like Samuel L. Jackson, have been hanging out on. Magic turned 62. They celebrate on a almost 300-foot luxury yacht. That's his annual summer vacation. $150,000 a day. They've been doing this since 2017. His room, master suite, incredible views, jacuzzi, gym, outdoor pool. I just got to think. I know
it's a mansion on water.
It really, really, truly is. And it's like when you're paying that much for a yacht that size, why not just go in and buy one?
Yeah, I agree. What's the point, right? Like, and it's not like any of those guys don't have the money, especially Magic.
Magic, LL Cool J, and Samuel L. Jackson, I'm pretty sure, could throw in together and buy these yachts. No, I know that there's
rent
yachts
them out, make some money off of them.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're going to find who the heck has we know exactly who the heck has $1 million per week to spend on these things. But my goodness gracious. And I wonder if that includes the crew. I wonder if that includes the food. I wonder if that's all inclusive.
I would hope so, right? If not,
but again, just buy the stinking thing. Buy a yacht, have a crew, and like you said, rent it out, make some of that money back. Come on, guys.
And if you are a multi-millionaire, make sure you tune into this show Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 for more consulting tips on what to do with your money.
You can also tune in here in a couple of minutes. We've got the news. We've got celebrity birthdays. What is today's national day? As always on Friday, we finish out, but not with fun necessarily. Friday Fun and Games will return when Jason Ross does, but we'll still have some fun. We'll talk about it next.
Sactown Sports 1140 is giving you more NBA Summer League access than anyone else in Sacramento.
So when we had the chance to get Malik, who had a fantastic shooting year, really 2 years now where he's been one of the best shooters in the league. And
get all the latest on our social media channels
and online at SactownSports.com.
Coverage of the 2022 NBA Summer League is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Visit them at PowerCopiers.com.
Greetings, Sacramento. It's Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store asking, when was the last time you did something nice for your feet? If you're like most people, your feet get attention only when there's a problem. That can mean something painful, maybe real painful, like plantar fasciitis. That was me. I counted on my feet to make a living, but ignored them until almost too late. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store, got my free personalized fitting and test walk, and in 20 minutes, I left with my expertly fit Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The pain was no more, and my feet have never felt so comfortable. I'm a Good Feet believer, and you can be too. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online at goodfeet.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed small business. Local ownership cuts out the red tape while ensuring our staff has the autonomy to make the quick, respectable business decisions necessary to deliver on our promise to always exceed the expectations of our customers. The power of our local family team will help you with your business printing needs. Contact us today at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
When the world's best players get fitted for new golf clubs, they want to see their ball flight outdoors. And why should you settle for any less? The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is the area's unquestioned leader in delivering a new age of golf club fitting to Northern California. With 14 trained, skilled professionals to show you how to hit the ball farther and straighter, satisfied customers have increased their yardage, improved their games, and gained confidence. Call 916-808-2531 to get started. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Coastside Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The wave technology at Coastside Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Coastside Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
Right, and the purchase markets are doing this thing and that thing. Shelby, as I always say, you're the captain of the ship that gets everybody through those waters. What's going on over at United Wholesale Lending?
We are heavily focused on purchase business right now.
This is the time of year, I know. You would think more people go and see houses, but how is that working as opposed to rates scaring people? Are we still seeing that huge influx of people going out there?
Well, there's some more inventory that's coming onto the market, and the market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Even with the interest rates going up, now the market is kind of softening up and making it easier for home buyers to get their offer accepted and also to get a better deal.
You can pre-approve them on the phone in under 15 minutes without even running their credit. But what you also do is you give them the exact things they need to knock out personally so that they can get into homes.
That's exactly right. We create a roadmap to get them in the position to buy a house.
RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 0186435441.
Stand by on this frequency.
It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
All right, Jason, back on Monday. In his honor. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Why is that a thing, by the way? I've always wondered that.
Same thing. Like because you can cross your fingers if you want something to happen, but also you can cross your fingers and apparently it makes you immune from lying.
Really? Yeah, I've noticed that too, because I tried that a lot as a kid, and then I got really into it with my parents where I'd cross my toes, and I tried that. Didn't work, by the way, on them. They didn't fall for it.
No, and that's the thing. But I mean, it has completely separate meanings. Again, whether you don't want to, I don't mean what I'm saying, my fingers are crossed, or I hope something's going to happen. I want to know how the finger cross thing started.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let's find out.
No,
Jay.
let's not. We'll do it
this
maybe
live. Courts of Mosaic law would often render verdicts with the phrase, "May God have mercy on your soul," to reaffirm God's supreme authority over law. Most judges felt like while they could pass a sentence of death upon a person, this is getting great, they personally did not have the authority to destroy souls, and that only God had the authority to do that. As a result, some judges would cross their fingers whenever they said the phrase as a result of concern for the criminal's soul, as they said it as a prayer. It also was believed in the early days of Christianity, people used it to signal their belief in others. So, okay, it's a religious thing.
Got it.
Sign of the cross wards off evil, as well as when people coughed and sneezed. I guess that's why people say bless you as well. But why is sneezing like, why do people think sneezing, you need to be blessed after sneezing too?
Yeah.
I'll bet you that's something.
I've always wondered about that. Like, it's like you sneeze, it's bless you, and then like you burp, it's excuse me. Like,
right.
Shouldn't I be excusing myself if I sneeze? And shouldn't you be blessing me if I burp? Because I need the blessings after passing such horrible gas.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like, I'm sure there's something like when you sneeze, it like something to do with your soul is open for it's going to be something like it's going to be some superstition.
Compelling content to end the show.
July 15th means it's National Gummy Worm Day.
Dude, love me some gummy worms.
Favorite gummy item?
Bears.
I'm actually a worm over bear guy.
Really?
I do enjoy bears. It's hard to go wrong with a gummy.
Yeah, no, gummies are fantastic.
Take that out of context, if you will. Also, Lifesavers gummies, underrated.
Oh, yeah, not bad at all.
Lifesaver gummies are awesome. National Tapioca Pudding Day, yay or nay?
You know, I've never in my life had tapioca pudding.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I smell an in-studio taste test. I'm back and forth. I actually like the taste of tapioca pudding, and the texture sometimes bothers me because there's little balls in it. Balls of tapioca. We'll have to bring some in for you. It's National I Love Horses Day.
I do too.
Big fan of a horse. You know one of the main reasons I would never own a horse?
Why?
Because it'll die someday, and I don't want to see that.
Okay, so why do you own a dog?
Well, because I can put the dog in a hefty bag and put it in recycling. What do you do? What do you do with a dead horse?
That's just dark.
I'm just kidding.
Are you?
No, depends on the size of the dog. What do you do like a dead horse? What do you do? For real? Do you get a crane?
Don't come on! Don't over. That was good.
That was good. That was good. You beat the dead horse. Do you pull out a chainsaw? And I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to be. I don't know what you do with a dead horse. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to go out someday and find that Fluffy, my horse, is dead.
Take him to the vet. Cremate
Yeah,
him.
just pile the horse in the trunk.
No, you can call somebody for that.
A horse is huge, dude.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
National Give Something Away Day. I've already done that. I've done that at least twice this week.
Nice job.
Thank you. And finally, National Pet Fire Safety Day.
Oh, yes. This is one of my favorite things to celebrate all year.
Now, when I see something like pet fire safety, it reminds me of my friends that I grew up across the street from. This is a true story. On December 21st, it was 4 days before Christmas, the house that they were in burnt down. Now, they were out at church, but then, so thank goodness, none of them were harmed, and they came and they stayed with us for a few days. It was actually a very fun Christmas for us kids because it was a big adventure. Obviously, it was big deal for the adults. But what we later found out, and has always stuck with me when I see things like National Pet Fire Safety Day, is according to the firefighters, apparently the fire started when the cat caught on fire. I cannot believe you laughed at that. Apparently the dad had left the fire going. Somehow an ember popped out or something, they thought, and caught the cat on fire, and the cat, while on fire, ran around the house, lighting
everything else,
of the house on fire.
So the cat was essentially a lighter at that point.
The cat was an arsonist in that sense. Yeah,
I'm sorry, and I wasn't laughing so much
Yes,
as the
you were.
cat catching on fire. It's just the way you just kind of seamlessly went into that, like it was no big deal. Like, oh yeah, the cat caught on fire.
It's truly something that happened. That note, hashtag Pet Fire Safety Day, you're supposed to have a fire drill in which you keep your pets and your humans safe, but you want to secure young pets when away from the house, store leashes and collars near the entrance of your home.
Okay.
And please don't leave fires going.
If you find the energy today, which you won't, I think we need a video of you helping Gus out with Pet Fire Safety Day.
The dumbest thing you're going to hear all week, because we're taking Gus with us on this trip. Gus does not like car rides. He gets very stressed out. So my wife last week, do you think I make bad purchases? My wife purchased a veterinarian recommended doggy car seat.
Yeah, Gus got a car seat.
Gus will now be strapped into this car seat, and it's supposed to calm them down.
Please take pictures of this.
I will 100% take pictures. The top 5 breakfast buffet personality types, Jay.
What?
The top 5, and we can really just call this a buffet personality type. Number 5, the nester, a provider who brings back a variety of food for the table to share.
Also a Yankees pitcher.
Yeah, you're on your own. I saw what you did there. The builder, a buffet novice who carefully chooses each item to create their perfect plate.
I'm more of a builder, I think.
The investigator, this curious guest circles the buffet more than once, closely examining the buffet to make sure they get the best of what's on offer.
That might be, you kind of fall in that range, don't you?
I am 100% an investigator, dude. If you're a rookie, you load you're like, oh, look, the quiche. And then it turns out there's something better down the road, but you're already quiche out. No. Number 2, the stacker. This guest can't get enough of the breakfast buffet and stacks their food tall on their plate. Don't do that. You can go back. That's the point of all you can eat. Don't mix things. Don't get your gravy and your cranberry. Just relax. Relax. And number 1, the smuggler. This guest wisely likes to hoard snacks for later. You're not supposed to do that.
You're not? Really?
No.
Oh.
You eat what you eat at the buffet and you're done.
Nah, I think smuggling is fine.
Do you?
I mean, you can take leftovers when you go to a standard restaurant. Why can't you take leftovers
Because
from a
it's
buffet?
not all you can eat.
That kind of is, though.
At all you can eat, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed
Well,
it's
whatever. You're also not supposed to put ketchup on a hot dog, but here we are.
No, you're not. By the way, hey, see the last commenter in there? That's day 2. Can we take care of that, please?
Okay.
As we wait on finishing off with celebrity birthdays, Dave Coulier, obviously Jay remembers him from Full House. Why did I say Full House? Full House and Fuller House. Dave Coulier has long been rumored to be the subject of Alanis Morissette's You Ought to Know, which told of her heartbreak caused by a breakup with a former lover after a 2-year relationship. The song was part of a 10 million plus selling Jagged Little Pill, one of the soundtracks of my youth. He was driving in Detroit, according to himself, when he first heard the song on the radio. He was really enjoying the song before his "hey, wait a minute" moment. When he recognized Alanis Morissette's voice. Uh-oh, I can't be this guy, he says. He raced to the record store and bought the album. He then sat in his car and listened to it. Quote, there were a lot of familiar things in there that she and I had talked about. Like in the song Right Through You, she says, your shake is like a fish. I go, hey, dead fish me, and we do this dead fish handshake. So I started listening to it, and I thought, oh, I may have really hurt this woman. That was my first thought.
Good job,
The
Dave.
Morissette-Coulier romance started in 1992 when she was 18 and he was 33. After breaking up 2 years later, her album came out a year after the split. She has never publicly revealed who the song is about. It's 100% about Dave Coulier. And really, that's honestly one of the craziest musical things. Yeah, the fact that it's about Dave Coulier.
The great Dave Coulier.
I mean, cut it out.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there?
A friend of the show, Dave Coulier.
Is he?
I interviewed him once upon a time.
Saudi Arabia has already spent millions in sports. They're not slowing down. The Wealth Fund now owns 17% of Aston Martin, and an unnamed Saudi soccer club has offered 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo a 2-year contract worth $275 million. That's $2.6 million a week.
Think he's taking the money?
I mean, yeah, I don't know about that. Finally, movies this week. On this week, Easy Rider came out in 1969. The Dark Knight in 2008, and When Harry Met Sally in 1989. The Blair Witch Project, which I thought was real at the time, in 1999. Jay Marsh, great work back there. Thank you so much. Monday, we hope Jason Ross is back with Jay. I'll see you a week from Monday. Jim Rome is next. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
Do you ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
Now, local businesses can get closer to every customer in their city with fast, affordable shipping. Introducing USPS Connect Local,